Gainesville.
San Antonio's Sports Center.
It is Monday night. That means Monday Night Football. The Cowboys playing host to the Cincinnati Bengals. Cowboys come in with a 2-game win streak. Bengals quarterback Joe Burrow, he's tough. He leads the NFL in touchdown passes with 30. You can hear that game right here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star beginning at 6 o'clock. And Spurs guard Chris Paul now in second place in career assists. He surpasses Jason Kidd last night in the Spurs win over the Pelicans.
Sports Center is brought to you by Buyers Barricades, the Texas Authority in Barricade Rental. BuyersBarricades.com.
Joe Reinagel.
That's the third time in 7 seasons the San Antonio Spurs are the NBA champions.
Jason Minnix.
They go back to big day as Super Bowl champions. Dallas 52, Buffalo 17.
It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minnix. Cowboys game day. Little Simpsons flavor to tonight's Monday Night Football game. Cowboys
Absolutely.
and Bengals.
Hey, I'm looking forward to this game. There could be a lot of offense in this game.
Well, from the Bengals.
From the Bengals, but even as bad as the Bengals defense is, the Cowboys might even score a few points.
Well, they might. And again, if you've got Brandon Aubrey on your fantasy team, you should be in for a good game because the Cowboys have to figure out ways to score touchdowns. I just don't know if they can. You look at the unstoppable Bengals offense, yet weird stuff happens in the National Football League, and this was a weird football weekend. When you look at all the games, they're showing the highlights of the Chiefs Chargers. You look at the Buffalo Bills, you talk about a team with no defense. I mean, Josh Allen might have secured MVP yesterday in a loss with his 6 touchdowns.
Absolutely. I don't think there's any question. I think he had it already anyway. And then you look at 6 touchdowns yesterday, even though they didn't win the game. What an incredible performance by Josh Allen yesterday. That was a lot of fun to watch.
Well, and I think because I know somebody, that has Josh Allen on his fantasy team, and Josh Allen by himself essentially won the game.
Well, pretty much. I mean, although I have some other pretty good players. I scored 170 points, Minnix.
Yeah, and half of those are Josh Allen.
Well, 60 of them.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
Yeah.
That's not half. But
quite.
Well,
you know what I'm saying.
I know math is hard.
Yeah.
But that's all right. Yeah, he was fantastic for me yesterday.
Point being.
Yes, he was fantastic. Josh Allen's your MVP. I don't think there's any question that Josh Allen's your MVP. I find it funny, though. I hear Micah Parsons thinks Joe Burrow ought to be the MVP.
Well, I mean, he's playing Joe Burrow this week.
Yeah.
I think that's being kind. Although, quite frankly, I mean, he's all the Bengals have. I still like Saquon Barkley, but man, you watch a Philadelphia team yesterday that struggles against Carolina. You get the questions about Jalen Hurts after a win from their own stud wide receiver. What's wrong with the offense passing? What? Whoa. And you think about when Josh Allen wins MVP. Do you look at Saquon Barkley and the reduced touchdowns that would be to him if it weren't for Jalen Hurts and the tush push? I mean, Jalen Hurts, every time he does that, takes away a potential touchdown for Saquon Barkley that ultimately could cost him the MVP award.
Well, it could, but I mean, James Cook could say the same thing about Josh Allen, right?
Yeah.
I mean, he had 3 tush pushes yesterday.
Yeah, Cookie's not in the MVP
touchdowns.
conversation.
Well, no, he's not. But when you've got a big quarterback like Josh Allen or Jalen Hurts, it's kind of dumb if you're on the 1-yard line not to do that. Because by the time you go back and hand the ball off to a running back, I mean, the defense has got an opportunity to kind of dig in. Where you're right up there, I think that tush push, and Buffalo, to their credit yesterday, ran it really well.
They did. I mean, it was an interesting day in the NFL, a wild day in college football. We're talking about it all here live this Monday afternoon at the Brew Pub, 281 and Redland Road. They've got the Bison Burger on the menu. You want to try one of those?
Really?
Yes.
I didn't even – I forgot about that.
How do you forget these things, Reinagel?
I did. I ordered a great chicken sandwich, though. It was fantastic.
It is.
Their chicken sandwich is outstanding.
But you could have had a Bison Burger.
I could have, but I forgot.
You forgot.
I did.
Understandable.
I won't ever do that again.
The Bison Burger here is phenomenal. and where they get their bison, how they source it, and the fact that they're bringing it in. And if you've ever had a bison burger, which I had not really had one that I'm aware of until this summer when I was in Jackson, Wyoming. And you see all the buffalo roaming, you got to have a bison burger, and my goodness, that's a game changer. Bison burger here at the Roop. Other great food. It's Cowboys game day. Come pregame with us. Watch the game here tonight. Cowboys and Bengals. And, we'll talk a lot of NFL today, but what a weekend in college football. And I got to say, I was on two ends of the spectrum when it comes to the playoff. The Arizona State fan in me. And, of course, I'm new to that ASU fandom with my daughter being at Arizona State. Winning the Big 12. As cool as that was, you go into that championship game knowing if you win, you're in the playoffs. The mentality was different, especially early when Iowa State was competitive before the Sun Devils just blew them out. Then you knew the game was over and you were going to the playoffs. The Texas game, quite frankly, just had a different feel to it. You're angry that they lost and they played like crap, Quinn Ewers, but at the same time, you lose the game, but you're still in the playoffs. Championship Saturday had such a different feel to it because you knew both Texas and Georgia were going to the playoffs. It was just a matter of were they going to get a bye or not. It feels like the playoff has taken some of the level of excitement away from Championship Saturday.
Well, look, and I get all of that, and I've heard that argument, but if you're Texas, I mean, can you beat Georgia? I don't know if you can. You've lost twice to them already. You see them again in the playoffs. Can you beat them? I wouldn't give you any credit for that or have any hope that you would do that. Quinn Ewers, his stock has fallen like nobody I've ever seen. This guy needs to sit down. He needs to sit down. It's a perfect opportunity for Sark to make the move right now. Okay? I don't know what Ewers has on Sark. He must have pictures of him with a goat.
Wow.
Or something, because I don't know why that kid is still playing. He is terrible. And as good as that defense is, as good as that Texas defense is, you can't overcome 3 turnovers from your quarterback. You just can't.
You can't. And again, Quinn Ewers, I wouldn't say he's terrible, but in big games, Quinn Ewers has yet to show up. And when you think about that offense with a quarterback that is said to be a pro quarterback, a first rounder, and you look at the weapons they have and the genius that is Sark drawing up plays, whether it's last week against the Aggies, against Georgia, you look at some of their lower scoring games and you wonder, how is that possible? Because you're right. I agree with you. That defense can win you a national championship,
no doubt.
But your quarterback can't turn the ball over. I saw a deal on Facebook where it had Quinn Ewers morphing into Dak Prescott,
which is perfect
in the postseason. Well, and you go back and you think about this first round playoff game between Clemson and Texas. Klubnik is from Austin Westlake. And I remember, talking to Cade at the All-American Bowl a couple of years ago, giving him a little crap for going to Clemson and not going to Austin because half of his Westlake teammates are Longhorns. But he played when they were juniors. He played Quinn Ewers in a state championship game when Quinn was at South Lake Carroll. Quinn put up ridiculous numbers in that game. Passing numbers, 300 some odd yards, blah, blah, blah. But he also had 2 interceptions and a fumble, and Austin Westlake won the game. Where, Cade was, 18 of 20 for a couple hundred yards and 97 yards on the ground and 0 turnovers. That's the good and bad. Now that we're in the playoffs, you wonder, and as a Longhorn fan, hope that there is a short leash for Quinn and you see a little bit more of Arch, unless Sark just doesn't think Arch is quite ready for whatever reason.
For whatever reason, and I don't understand it. But look, I saw Sark at halftime. He was upset with the refs, right? Like they weren't calling any holding call.
Every Longhorn fan was upset with the refs.
Well, but
those refs are wearing Bulldog uniforms.
Oh, stop it. Stop.
Did you watch the game? I know you were in Vegas.
No, I watched the game. I did. I watched the game.
Could you actually see the game?
I saw the game.
All right.
Yes, I did. Stop with that. I am so sick of the excuses. Oh, well, our team's good, but the refs were against us. Stop it. That's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. Georgia is just as good as Texas. Their big fellas, the fat guys up front are just as good. You can't turn the football over. You just can't. And I don't want to hear any excuses, Texas fan, that the refs were against you. That is the biggest bunch of crap I think I've ever heard.
And I'm generally not a blame the ref guy, and you know that. But, man, it felt one-sided. And all I care about from officiating is consistency. If this is a foul on one team, it should be a foul on the other. And it just felt lopsided. And just like Aggie fans, when they were complaining that how is there no holding calls against our guys? I mean, sometimes you sit there and you wonder what the hell is going on. But quite frankly, Texas dominated that first half and had 2 field goals.
Yeah.
At halftime, I knew Texas was going to lose that game at halftime because they wasted so many opportunities, and Georgia's just too good to not get it together. And then, you knock out Beck and you bring in a kid that, played here in San Antonio in the All-America Bowl. And
he was good, man.
Oh, my God. Well, in high school, that kid, a 2-star, a dual threat stud. Gunner was, and when I saw him come in, I thought this kid might be better than Beck. Kind of how, as a Longhorn fan, I'm ready to move on to Arch. It's the same kind of thing. Georgia fans are ready to move on to this kid, and I think we saw why.
Well, and I would have to agree. The way that guy performed, he came in, there was no the moment was not too big for him. He came right off the bench and went right to work. Boy, but he got pounded. There was that one play, man, that he just got his head taken off. Having said all of that, I was very impressed with the kid. Good news for Georgia. If you're a Georgia fan, you've got a little extra time now to get back ready to go because they're going to have a first round bye in the playoffs where Texas isn't. You and Bob Ballou were hoping for a home game for Texas in the playoffs. You got one.
Well, you want to win the SEC title, sure, a conference championship. But in the SEC, they say it means more, but does it? And you listen to Saban and some of these others that are whining that Alabama's not in, strength of schedule and all that kind of stuff. I like the fact that they have a home game. A bye would have been nice. But the idea you got Clemson coming in, that should be a lot of fun December 21st up there in Austin for that game. But they've got to play better. And you look at the road to getting to a national championship, I kind of look at that and go, boy, Oregon's the 1 seed, and they got screwed.
They did.
They've got the toughest path, even with a bye. Georgia might have the easiest path when you look at the way the brackets, that bottom half of the bracket, SMU in, Alabama is out. The debate on that damn TV show to get us the answers we need. Just put it out there and let's go. But it's fun, and that's why we love college football and the chaos of it all.
Well, you knew there's always going to be controversy. I don't care how many teams you have in a playoff system. Somebody's going to be upset that they didn't get in. Like Alabama didn't deserve to get in. They just didn't. And so I'm glad they were left out. SMU, I get the whole schedule thing, but they had one less loss than Alabama. So I don't have a problem with it. Joel Klatt, I saw something with Joel Klatt. He was just really upset by the point you just made about Oregon. How are you the number 1 seed in this tournament and you've got the toughest path to get to a national championship? It makes absolutely no sense.
No, and Georgia with the easiest, the way it was laid out. And then the geography of stuff. Arizona State will get the winner of Texas Clemson in the Peach Bowl, of all things. The Peach Bowl going to Atlanta when you have the Fiesta Bowl in play. I'm surprised they didn't do things a little bit more regional in setting this up.
They've got some growing pains, and hopefully they'll learn from it. But, look, I was surprised Alabama didn't get in over SMU. I thought that the TV folks would want that, and I'm sure they did. SMU's a good football team. I didn't see any of that Clemson-SMU game, but just the highlights that I saw, Clemson just played better that day. Clemson's a pretty good football team, but they're not on the level of a Georgia. Texas ought to take care of them. They came out as an 11-point favorite, by the way. Texas did. They should take care of them and move on, but they won't if their quarterback turns the football over.
No, Quinn Ewers cannot continue to turn the ball over. I don't know if he can change who he is, though, over the next several games. It's going to be on that defense. And, get that offensive line healthy and ready to go. It's going to be a lot of fun. We'll talk more college football playoffs, the brackets. Jeff Traylor, head coach of the UTSA Roadrunners, he's going to join us at 5:15 as UTSA is going bowling. Bad news for UTSA is it's not a neutral site game. They're going to play Coastal Carolina at Coastal Carolina for a team that has not won a road game yet this year. Boy, that's interesting.
Tough.
But we'll talk about that coming up with Jeff Traylor. Also, we've got the Moose, Daryl Johnston. He is in town. We'll talk some Cowboys-Bengals with the Moose at 4:35. Let's talk Cowboys-Bengals in the NFL coming up here on the Blitz, live at the Roo Pub, 281 and Redland Road, here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
San Antonio Sports Stars 50K Pro Football Pick'em giveaway is back. Head to USASportsStar.com and pick the winners of each pro football game every week to earn points for each correct pick. Highest points each week wins a $25 gift card to Mellow Mushroom. Highest points overall scores $1,000 worth of tickets from A Awesome Tickets. Pick the winning ticket of every regular season game. Win the grand prize, $50,000. This is an Audience National contest across multiple markets. The 50K Pro Football Giveaway. Register and win at SASportsStar.com.
Imagine finding your dream home and moving in right away. No waiting to sell your old place first. Sounds perfect, right? Jason Minnix here from 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. That's exactly what Orchard's Move First, Sell Later program lets you do. Buy your new home now, sell the old one later. Here's how it works. Orchard gives you cash so you can buy and move into your new home first. On your timeline, no waiting, no showings, no double moves. Then the Orchard experts take it from there. They handle repairs on your old home and make price-boosting upgrades at no upfront cost. Once they're done, a local Orchard agent lists and sells your home for top dollar. Orchard's Move First program gives you the freedom to buy and move into your new home first, sell your old home later. Buy before you sell and get top dollar for your home with Orchard. Ready to find out how much your home is worth? Visit Orchard.com to get your free home valuation. That's Orchard.com.
In Texas, your spouse can claim alimony after just 10 years of marriage. Do you know your countdown? I guarantee she does. I'm Gary Barton, owner of Barton & Associates, attorneys at law. If you're considering divorce, it's absolutely crucial to understand your options right now. Don't let alimony catch you off guard. Protect what you've built and secure your hard-earned assets. Visit TexasDivorce.com. At Barton & Associates, we focus on navigating the complexities of divorce law to ensure you're not left vulnerable. Divorce is tough, but you have a choice. Take control of the process or allow your spouse to dictate the terms. If you're serious about safeguarding what you have built and your financial future, Barton & Associates is the team for you. We'll act swiftly and decisively, ensuring that you're not taken advantage of. Call Barton & Associates at 210-500-0000. That's 210-5-MILLION. Or visit TexasDivorce.com. That's TexasDivorce.com.
Principal Office, San Antonio.
Guys, it's that time of year you're going to have to be around your family, and you know what you need to get through these trying times is some dang good beer, and Karbach is providing that for you. Whether you're looking for something hoppy like the Hopadillo, the best IPA brewed in the state of Texas, something easy drinking like the Love Street, or a go-to all-around beer, for me at least anyway, is the Crawford Bock. They've got something for every taste and every occasion. Karbach makes a great gift as well. Put some Karbach under the tree for those hard-to-shop-for family members, and always bring some if you're going to have to be around the in-laws. That's just a given. Guys, follow them on the Instagram, on Twitter, to see what's going on with the brewery, what they've got cooking up. They always have concerts going on, and if you're in Houston, make sure you stop by, check out the restaurant. Fantastic food there. Wherever you're at in San Antonio or in the great state of Texas, you're going to be able to find some Karbach. Try it out. You'll thank me later.
There's never any FOMO with the iHeartRadio app. You won't ever have to miss out on your favorite shows and contests with this radio station again. Radio 24/7, 365. We're here when you want us. Stay connected and listen anywhere when you download the free iHeartRadio app.
Oh, could this vintage store be any cuter?
Right? And the best part? They accept Discover.
Accept Discover? In a little place like this? I don't think so, Jennifer.
Oh, yeah, huh? Discover's accepted where I like to shop. Come on, baby, get with the times.
Right. So we shouldn't get the parachute pants?
These are making a comeback. I think.
Discover is accepted at 99% of places that take credit cards nationwide. Based on the February 2024 Nielsen report.
Hey, this is Rob Thompson here from my friends over at Prize Picks. It's Pixmas time, my friends, and Pixmas means one thing to me, and that's 200 times my money. Yes, for a shot to win up to 200 times your cash, there's no better place to go than Prize Picks, because that's what they're doing. Me and millions of others are there for this very reason. Go and get your money. You know how to play fantasy. You know what to expect. Pat Mahomes going to have a good week. What about Wemby? Is it going to be more? Is it going to be less? You've done it before. Go do it again. What I love about Prize Picks is they always take care of me. Now they're taking care of 200 times my money with just a couple of clicks. For your shot at up to 200 times your cash, go download Prize Picks and start playing today. Use the code word Alamo. That's 200 times your money. I can't say it more often. What a great way to play along with all your other fantasy stuff. Go play today. That's Prize Picks. Code word Alamo. Run your game.
It's the Blitz with Jason and Joe on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minnix. Live out at the Roo Pub, 281 and Redland Road. Come hang out with us. Get ready to watch Cowboys, Bengals tonight. And I know this place was just nuts on Saturday with all the college football, and a lot of people sounding like Joe Reinagel on our Instagram here at the Roo Saturday when it comes to Quinn Ewers. You want to know what I'm talking about? Go watch the video on Instagram at SA Sports Star. Reinagel just shot that in the parking lot. He's got it up there. And all I said, do it. Do it now.
Do it right now.
Do it. That's exactly the video that's up there when it comes to Quinn Ewers and the message that Joe wants you to be very loud about in somehow convincing Sark to make a quarterback change. And, of course, the old rule is coaches start listening to fans, and they start to sit with them.
Well, I tell you what, you better do something, because if Texas loses to Clemson, what a disappointment this season's going to be. And if they lose to Clemson because Quinn Ewers turned the ball over 2 or 3 times, then it's an extreme disappointment. Look, I got nothing against Quinn Ewers, although for that first-round draft pick in the NFL, forget about it. He'll be lucky to go 4th or 5th now, I think, with the stock that has fallen with him. It's crazy. I just think it's a perfect opportunity. You got 2 weeks to get Arch Manning ready. Let him work with the first team, get him ready, and start him against Clemson. He's at home. Let him go.
I just think there's going to be a short leash. It's still Quinn's job. And, it's crazy because we're all drafting analysts. The reality is all it takes is one guy to think you're the guy. I think his NFL career is going to be that of Sam Ehlinger. But then again, you get him in the right system, and who knows. But
Cleveland will draft him. Well, he's got that going for him.
Right, that'll help. that helps all young quarterbacks.
Exactly.
Go to Cleveland. Doesn't matter the coach. Doesn't matter the GM. That city will crush a quarterback.
Well, no doubt. That's where quarterbacks go to die. That's for sure.
And it does feel, to a degree, Texas might be ahead of schedule by a year. The idea that Arch will get it. I saw some video from Archie Manning over the weekend. Somebody asked Archie, what NFL team do you want? And he said, nobody's ever asked me that. I want him to play 3 years at Texas and maybe go to the Dallas Cowboys, which sounds like a great plan. I like that, Archie Manning. And the guy was like, not the Saints. Because, we've got Dak Prescott for the next several years, so nothing you can do about that. But we don't have Dak Prescott tonight as the Dallas Cowboys trying to keep their playoff hopes alive. Now, granted, this weekend did not bode well for the Cowboys' playoff chances when you're looking at if this team can beat that team, and that would give the Cowboys a chance. Most of the things that Cowboy fans needed to have happen didn't. I don't think the Cowboys are a playoff team. I'm not watching games thinking, so you're saying there's a chance. What I want to see from this Cowboys team is those young players getting the experience and getting better. And because to me, that's what this season was all about at the beginning, and that's what it's turned into. Can Mike McCarthy stay committed to the run game with Rico Dowdle and let him learn how to be a back that can carry it 15, 20, 23 times a game?
Well, I think he's got a perfect opportunity tonight with that Cincinnati defense. They're not good against the run. They're not good against the pass. They're just not good. And so if you're going to get your offense going and you can't get it going tonight, then you're in big trouble. Cowboys should be able to put some points on the board tonight against Cincinnati. Everybody has been able to put points on the board. The problem is, will they be able to put up enough to keep up with that Cincinnati offense? That's going to be the question. And I can see this game being a high-scoring football game, a 38-31, 38-28 kind of football game when it's all said and done. I just don't think the Cowboys offensively, even as bad as that Cincinnati defense is, can keep up with Joe Burrow and the offense that he's got to work with.
See, what I worry about is this might be high scoring by the Bengals. I just don't know if the Cowboys have enough offense.
That's it.
And the explosive plays to get there. And one of the things that Mike McCarthy is consistent in, and he said this on Friday morning on the Morning Huddle, so many of those games where they get away from the run is because they were lopsided. And I think in this game, the Cowboys have to stay committed to the run because you're going to use up more clock. The less time Joe Burrow has on the field, the better for the Dallas Cowboys. The way to do that is to stay committed to the run, even if it's not working. Even if you're down 14, keep running the ball. Because you look at the weird game for the Bengals this year was back on October 13th when they beat the Giants 17-7. All right. They also beat the Browns 21-14. I just don't look at this game as one that can be a 21-14, a 17-7 type game, but that is the only way Dallas has a chance of winning is if somehow they can keep the Bengals under 24 points.
Well, I think this is a game where Micah Parsons can be effective. That offensive line and Joe Burrows has been sacked. I mean, he is vulnerable to that. So Micah Parsons has got to make his presence felt tonight. They've got to do something to disrupt what Burrows has working for him. But yeah, this is one of those games, Jason, that could get out of control really quickly if you can't keep up on the scoreboard. Cincinnati is good, man. They are just good. Burrow is having maybe one of the best years he's had as a pro. It's tough. It's tough to stop him. The Pittsburgh defense, which I would say is a hell of a lot better than Dallas's, they gave up 38 points last week. So it's a tough challenge for the Cowboys. There's no question.
Yeah, you look at, Chargers scored 34 against them. Ravens scored 35 against them. I just don't know if Cooper Rush has that in him. You get a Jake Ferguson back. That certainly will help. Brandon Cooks will help. I mean, they got some guys there, but now you're also looking at an offensive line that's depleted. Now, granted, last couple of weeks, but you got to keep in mind who they were playing against. Without Zach Martin, that offensive line pieced together has played better. Cooper Rush tends not to make mistakes, makes a lot of safe throws. I just don't see this offense scoring at a high enough level to keep up with Cincinnati. Now, can they get a kick return for a touchdown? Can Turpin take one back? Can they get a defensive touchdown? If they can get one of those scores, defense or special teams or both, then I do think they have a chance. But offense against Burrow against Rush, it's Burrow all day long.
I just wonder what Cincinnati at this point in time, they've only got 4 wins. And then expectations were through the roof coming into this season. Everybody thought that this might be the year that Cincinnati could do something and make a good playoff run. So it's got to be extremely disappointing for those guys. What are they playing for?
Well, I honestly, you look at their schedule coming up. And you would talk about the Cowboys have an outside chance. So do the Bengals. The Bengals have Dallas tonight, Tennessee, Cleveland, Denver, and Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
Right? So their 4 wins could turn into 9, and they'd be one of the hot teams going in if they're able to nab a wild card. Still not very realistic, but if you're looking at the rest of this schedule, are you not looking saying, we've got the ability to win out and put ourselves into that mix? In the AFC, a little bit tougher, but I mean, good Lord, Tennessee lost to Jacksonville yesterday. Then Cleveland.
Tennessee's looking for a replacement for Will Levis.
Denver obviously playing good football. Close out against Pittsburgh, and last game of the year, depending on where Pittsburgh's at, who knows who would play in that game. So if you're Cincinnati, you're sitting there looking at tonight's game as a playoff game to give themselves a chance. I mean, they got 4 wins, but if they can wheel off 5 in a row here to close out the year starting tonight, they're going to give themselves an opportunity to be in that mix. That's what they're playing for.
I just it really is a travesty. And we talk about Jerry Jones all the time, and I know how Cowboy fans who listen to us are always quick to blame Jerry Jones. You look at Cincinnati, and you look at a guy like Joe Mixon, for example, going to Houston, where it's just a breath of fresh air. Cincinnati is one of those franchises that is just not run very well. And for them to have the offense that they have, there's still questions about T. Higgins. Will he be with them next year? Jamar Chase still waiting to get paid. He's still waiting in line to become the next highest wide receiver in the league, most likely. So will that happen in Cincinnati, or will he have to go somewhere else? But to have an offense with the firepower that the Bengals have and to not do anything defensively to help that football team out, it just, to me, is malpractice. I mean, these guys are averaging over 30 points a game, and they've only won 4 games. That's just ridiculous on the face of it. And it's really kind of sad to see the talent with the Jamar Chase, with the Joe Burrow, with the T. Higgins, that team is not more successful than they are.
It really is. I mean, it reminds me of the Tony Romo Cowboys.
Yeah, absolutely.
It reminds me of early Dak Cowboys when you had all this offensive firepower and the defense couldn't stop anybody. And if you didn't score 30 a game, you weren't going to win.
Yeah.
It's amazing how it comes across that way. When you think about tonight's Monday night game, and obviously you can listen to the game here on 94.1, brought to you by AA Best Bail Bonds and Ewald Kubota. You can come watch it here at the Roo Pub. But if you're around your TV and you control your television, are the Mannings doing their thing tonight too?
I
mean, so you got,
don't know,
but the whole Simpsons deal on ESPN Plus, do you have any desire to go watch that?
Maybe just out of curiosity. But see, I'm a guy, I don't watch the Manning cast all that often.
Me neither.
I like watching the game. I want to watch the game. I like hearing Joe Buck and Troy Aikman. And so that's where I'm at. My brother's just the opposite. He won't watch the regular broadcast. He's got to watch the Manning cast. So I guess it just depends on your preference. But I'm kind of curious to see what they're going to be doing with it. What's the deal? I saw a story earlier today. One of the Bengals players had a picture up of what he's going to look like during the broadcast as a cartoon.
Yeah.
And so in that respect, just a curiosity factor, I think I will check out a little bit of it.
I might put it on the second TV just to see it there. That's on mute most of the time anyway. I figure I'll see enough clips. Or if the Cowboys are blown out early, at that point, what the hell?
Yeah.
But if it's a good game, see, I'm with you, and that's kind of what I do with the Manning cast. If the game isn't that intriguing, I might go listen to the Mannings just to see what they have. But I like to watch a game with a natural broadcast. I don't want an alternative broadcast. I want to get the nuts and bolts that a broadcast provides. The Simpson thing, it's almost like some of those Nickelodeon games, kind of fun, but if it's a game that I care about, like if tonight's game was not a Cowboys game, I might watch more of the Simpsons.
Yeah.
But being a Cowboys game, I'm too in. I don't need that distraction. That's my team.
Dude, let me tell you something, and all of that is true. My favorite place now to watch football is on an airplane. I'm more into the game, I think, on an airplane, watching it there. I watched that Buffalo game yesterday, Buffalo and the Rams, which is a hell of a football game, by the way. Most of that on an airplane back from Las Vegas. And I get more out of that, I think, than sitting in my living room. Because to me, I got the headphones in. I'm paying attention to the game. There's no distractions.
Is that just because somebody else will bring you beer?
Well, sure.
right.
That's part of it.
Yeah.
Although, we had a little turbulence coming back yesterday. So I got one beer, and then that was all there was because the flight attendants had to sit down, which is fine. I want them to be safe. But I didn't need a lot of beer coming home yesterday. I drank a lot.
I'm just trying to think.
Weekend.
I mean, for we're all guys. You want to get the biggest TV you can.
Sure.
And you're telling me you want to be like, I don't know, our kids that would rather watch things on a pad.
Well, to me, I've got no distractions. I got the earbuds in, and Maggie's
stand in line to pee.
She's sitting next to me.
It all seems like it sucks.
Sitting next to me asleep. So I've got zero distractions, and I was into that game, and it was a hell of a game to watch.
Well, it was a hell of a game to watch. You're just happy the Wi-Fi was working on that play.
Absolutely, yes, I was. Yes,
yeah.
And most of the time, to Southwest credit, it does.
I'll tell you. I mean, I like watching games on a plane as long as the Wi-Fi is working.
It's got to be working.
That wouldn't be anywhere near my favorite place.
Well,
especially when you're coming home.
Favorite maybe is
a stretch.
A stretch, but
yes.
It's a good place
I'm glad
to watch a game.
Technology is at a point now where that's an option.
Yeah, it's a good place.
Absolutely. It's a great option here at the Roo Pub, 281 and Redland Road. Let's talk about the college football playoffs and the bowl matchups. Boy, do we have a big game in San Antonio. Once again, the Valero Alamo Bowl will be the best of the best when it comes to the non-playoff bowl games that are out there. We'll get into that coming up here. Live at the Roo of 281 and Redland Road. If you're a business owner, a manager, a club leader, and need your logo on any kind of gear, make sure you get into Sammy's Embroidery and Printing down on San Pedro, especially if you need that on winter gear. Sammy has all his winter gear on display right now in his showroom. So if you need that logo on a nice hat, a jacket, a coat, a half zip, Sam will get you taken care of. Uniforms, over 700 uniform lines to choose from. All that winter gear on display. And you talk about on display in that showroom. You walk in there, there's about 25,000 caps on display in that showroom. About 75 different color combinations just waiting for your logo. And he's got all the popular cap brands like Katie Caps, Nike Cap America, the Richardson 112 style trucker caps. Nobody has better prices. Sam has all the big name brands, North Face, Under Armour, Eddie Bauer, Nike, Travis Matthew, Port Authority, to name a few. And Sam is the only company in Texas with one-day turnaround. No order too big, certainly no order too small. So whether you need that winter gear ordered or you're thinking about some Christmas gift ideas, call Sammy's Embroidery and Printing, 210-824-3900, 824-3900, or go by that massive showroom on San Pedro, about a mile inside Loop 410, next to Big Lots across from McDonald's, or check the website, samsembroidery.com, for Sammy's Embroidery Club.
1, 2, 3, Cowboys! South Texas home of the Dallas Cowboys. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Monday night at 7:15. The Cowboys take center stage hosting the Cincinnati Bengals for Monday Night Football.
I like this kind of party.
Pre-game starts after the Blitz at 6. Presented by AA Best Bail Bonds and Ewald Kubota.
This is all cooking. How about them Cowboys?
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. South Texas home of the Dallas Cowboys.
Hey guys, Jason Minnix here. Have you been putting off getting your T levels checked? Why drag through days with low energy potentially caused by low testosterone? Make that holiday resolution and go to Synergenics. I recommend the health providers at Synergenics Testosterone and Weight Loss because their personalized TRT goes beyond standard treatments. And at Synergenics, they're also experts with weight loss with affordable prescription GLP-1 plans. Don't wait. Book your appointment at SynergenicsHealth.com. SYNERGENX Health.com.
Listen to this station anytime, anywhere on Odyssey. Odyssey is your new audio home for all the music, news, sports, and podcasts that matter to you. Odyssey. That's AUDACY.
Calling all of Cowboys Nation in San Antonio. It's time to gear up with the ultimate Dallas Cowboys apparel. Whether you're heading to the game or watching from home, the Dallas Cowboys Pro Shop has you covered. From hoodies to hats, jerseys to jackets. Find all your Cowboys essentials at any of our 4 San Antonio locations. River Center, Ingram Mall, North Star Mall, and Heaver Oaks Shopping Center. We're open 7 days a week. Find the best selection of Cowboys gear and rep the star loud and proud.
This holiday season, Capital One reminds you to give yourself the gift of 1.5% cash back with the Capital One Quicksilver Card.
Can I earn 1.5% cash back on birds?
Birds?
What if you sent your true love 2 turtle doves plus a partridge in a pear tree?
Sure, but why would anyone want that?
The song was very convincing.
Earn 1.5% cash back on all your holiday purchases with the Capital One Quicksilver Card. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
Welcome to TGL presented by SoFi. Golf's newest league, live on ESPN and ESPN Plus. It's 2 hours of hammer dropping, overtime forcing, playoffs on the line, golf. Tiger, Rory, and more of the best from the PGA Tour split into 6 teams. Learn more at TGLGolf.com and tune into the inaugural season beginning January 7th. Keep up, it's golf.
If you're thinking about a compact tractor and you want the best, you can afford a Kubota. I'm John Ewald with Ewald Kubota. Come into one of our 11 locations and check out the new Kubota L2502 package deal, including a 4-wheel drive tractor with hydrostatic transmission, a front loader, a rear mower, a box blade, and a trailer, all for one low price. With a deal this good, you can afford a Kubota from Ewald Kubota. From the Ewald family to yours, Merry Christmas.
This is an ad by BetterHelp. What's your perfect night? Maybe you're settled at home alone or with loved ones, covered in blankets, about to watch your favorite show. It's cozy, it's calm, and you're ready for a perfect night in. Therapy can feel a bit like that, a place for comfort, a time when you replenish your energy and take care of yourself. And hey, you can even do it without leaving that same cozy couch. This season is the perfect time to give therapy a try, right from the comfort of home. With BetterHelp, get matched with a tailored therapist based on your needs and preferences, entirely online. Designed to be convenient, flexible, and suited to your schedule. Just fill out a brief questionnaire to get matched with a therapist, and switch therapists at any time for no additional charge. Find comfort this season with BetterHelp. Visit BetterHelp.com/remedy today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/remedy.
I'm Tiffany, founder of Harlem Pilates. When I couldn't find Pilates in my neighborhood, I started a studio from my studio apartment. Chase Inc. helped me grow from 1 Pilates studio to 3. Because when you start small, you're going to need some big help.
With the Chase Inc. Business Cash Card, you can earn up to 5% cash back on business essentials, so your business can go from here to possible. Chase for business. Make more what's yours. Real business owner compensated for their participation. Cards issued by J.P. Morgan Chase Bank, N.A. member FDIC, subject to credit approval. Terms apply.
Divorce is a fight. If you don't want to get knocked out of the ring by your spouse, then you need an aggressive law firm with a stable of hard-hitting attorneys at your disposal. Contact Barton & Associates today. Visit TexasDivorce.com. That's TexasDivorce.com.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, South Texas home of the NFL. Monday night, Thursday night, and Sunday night football. Presented locally by Flight by Yingling, the next generation of light beer. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
This is AJ Hoffman from the Morning Huddle. Join me and Rob Thompson tomorrow morning at 6 for the perfect ride to work on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minnix, live out at the Rue Pub, 281 and Redland Road. Come by, have lunch, say hi to Michaela. Get a bison burger. You could do that.
Yeah, get a bite. I missed out today on the bison burger. So next time
you can get a bison burger for dinner.
Well, maybe I might do that. It's possible.
Bison burger is new on the menu here.
Yeah,
at the Rue Pub. And I tell you what, I know you went to Vegas on Friday and had a hell of a weekend.
I did.
We were out at Tri-County Meat Market on Friday. I don't know if Pledge got any of the we did a tomahawk challenge, and me and Rob and Greg Shelton got to be taste testers.
Nice.
For the tomahawk challenge. It was fantastic.
Oh, yeah?
It was fantastic. And all the food that was out there was all great. I don't know if any of it made it back to James Pledger because
I doubt it.
it depends on Greg Shelton. So Greg kept all that extra food for himself,
of course, he did.
which is understandable. It was fantastic. If you did any grilling over the weekend, and I know the weather sucked, but I know there was still a lot of smoke rolling. Make sure you upload those photos to the Grilling with the Blitz page at sasportstar.com for your chance to win a $50 gift card from Tri-County Meat Market. There are two great locations on Hebner Road. Go out and see them there at the Fair Oaks location. When you go out to Fair Oaks, make sure you say you heard it about them on San Antonio Sports Star.
Absolutely. Yes. Always do that. That anywhere you go that are fun.
Absolutely.
Sponsors that make this show possible.
Absolutely.
We thank them all for sure.
The idea on Saturday, the college championship games, and there's a lot going on. This 12-team playoff has taken something out of championship Saturday, especially for like the SEC championship. When you go in knowing that you're still in the playoffs, if you win or lose, you have a different mindset. Personally speaking, as a Longhorn fan, that was my mindset going in. I wasn't pissed off like I would be after a loss. I was mad that they lost and how bad Quinn Ewers played, but we're still in the playoffs, so it didn't sting. Where, like, when the Arizona State game started, you knew you win that, you're in. You win that, you're in. You have to win. Even SMU, when they lost, you kind of felt like the way they played in that game, they were still going to be in. You cannot be penalized for losing in a championship game. And I think most felt that way. Knowing where you were ranked going in, you weren't going to be penalized for losing, especially with a decent showing in a conference championship game. Because otherwise teams would try to avoid going. It just kind of felt like it didn't have that same on championship Saturday.
Yeah, well, it should have if you're Texas. And I'll tell you why. You haven't beaten anybody this year. Nobody. And what makes you think you can beat anybody in the playoffs? I think for Texas, that game was a prove-it game that they belong among the elite in the SEC. And so far, they haven't proven that. They beat Michigan in the second game of the season, and yes, it was a big game at that time. Nobody knew Michigan was going to suck as bad as they do, although they have gotten better over the season. But Texas has beaten no one. And so of any relevance, and that's got to be a problem. And if you're Sark, if you're Quinn, whomever on that team, can you beat the elite teams in the SEC? And right now, the answer is no.
Well, they can't beat Georgia. But are they amongst the elite? They are. And I think if you're a Texas fan, you're looking at it saying, this defense is great. Quinn Ewers just can't turn the ball over. And there's something with that offense, with the firepower that they have and the genius that is Sark. They should be scoring a lot more than they are. Can they figure that out against Clemson? I think I, as a Longhorn fan, disagree with what you just said. They dominated Georgia in the first half. They just couldn't score. And at halftime, I felt like they're going to lose this game because they did not take advantage of what they did in the first half. But they showed that they can play with Georgia. They are in that class.
But they can't beat them. No matter where they're playing, they have not proven they can beat them. And that's an issue. And look, with that, it's the same thing we were talking about Cincinnati earlier. You got one hell of an offense with no defense. Texas right now has got one of the best defenses I've ever seen, and their offense sucks. They were lucky to beat Texas A&M. They couldn't score in the second half. And Quinn Ewers is turning the football over all over the place. They were very fortunate to get out of College Station with a W.
Yep.
Even though they dominated the Aggies and they were clearly the better team. And so you can't do that when you get into this point of the year and start playing better teams. You've got to play like you are an elite team. And right now, Texas offensively is not playing like an elite football team.
They are not. So they'll get Clemson. You got Tennessee, Ohio State, which might be the best of the first-round matchups, at least on paper. SMU and Penn State, that one could get ugly quick.
In what way you think? You think Penn State ugly or
Well, I mean, James Franklin actually has to go win a big game.
Well, that's a good point.
I just the fact that that's in Happy Valley, the Pony Express rolling out in the cold weather. Yeah. Are they going to be able to handle that? It took them way too long to get going against Clemson, and I don't know that they would be able to come back against Penn State. Indiana, Notre Dame.
Notre Dame's playing great football. As much as I hate to admit it, they are playing great football. They should win that football game.
I look at that and I'm like, and that one, I don't know. I mean, the one time Indiana had to play somebody real, they got destroyed by Ohio State. Yep. So that'll be interesting. And then you look at Oregon, and this is the one thing about the committee that I don't like. Say Ohio State beats Tennessee, we get an Oregon-Ohio State rematch too soon. Texas, Clemson, so let's say Longhorns, they'll get Arizona State. Penn State, SMU winner gets Boise State. Indiana, Notre Dame would get Georgia. So, Georgia, Notre Dame, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, hell of a game.
Oregon, Ohio State, be awesome. SMU, Boise State, nobody had that on their bingo card. Even Penn State, Boise State. It's going to be interesting, but that's what we wanted with the playoffs. Yeah. And the fact that you don't have an Alabama in. They were the first team out. Miami out. Some of the others that thought they might have an argument are out. Then you look at the other bowl games. Of note, obviously, UTSA, they go to the Myrtle Beach Bowl. They'll get Coastal Carolina. We'll talk about that with Jeff Traylor. The Incarnate Word Bowl happening up in Dallas, the First Responder Bowl, North Texas against Texas State. So the last two head coaches from UIW, in Eric Morris and G.J. Kinney, going head-to-head in, well, we'll just call it the Bird Bowl.
Why not?
Sure. It's the UIW Cup, whatever you want to call it. And by the way, congrats to UIW in a defensive battle. They get by Villanova to move on to get South Dakota. But right here in San Antonio, the Valero Alamo Bowl, what a matchup with Colorado and BYU.
Well, just having Colorado here with Deion Sanders and all the hype and pomp and circumstances going to come with the Colorado Buffaloes, that's going to be a lot of fun. No disrespect to BYU, but I couldn't tell you much about BYU other than, well, they're a pretty good football team. Colorado, they're going to make the most noise when they arrive in San Antonio.
And what I love about having Colorado here is it's just not going to be a bunch of dudes with their jersey and helmets on. It's going to be those dudes, according to Deion Sanders.
Yeah, but plethora of seniors that are pro-bound. And guess what? Every last one of them are going to play. We don't tap out. We don't sit out. It's a blessing to play this wonderful game. Our kids are going to play. We got a kid that's probably going to pick up, not probably, what I'm talking about, matter of factly going to pick up the Heisman Trophy this week, and he's going to play. We got another quarterback who picked up an award last weekend, and he's going to play. We have receivers that I know are going pro, and guess what? They're going to play. So we cannot wait to put on our best suit and our best uniform because we're the home team, and we're going to play, and we're going to come there to have a good time.
That's awesome, and I love that. And I wish more coaches were of that mindset. Maybe they are. It's just that when your son's playing quarterback, you kind of say, yeah, son, you're playing. Yes, you are, or you're grounded.
I mean, that was our fear. And, the happiest people have to be, old Derek Fox and Rick Hill and everybody that works in that Alamo Bowl office because, with opt-outs, like I've already seen, and who knows what's going to be official and who's announcing, but with the portal, who's going to still be around and opt-outs. But like the Michigan-Alabama bowl game, features helmets because so many of those guys will likely opt out, according to early reports. I love that Deion Sanders immediately, dude, we're playing. That guy, Travis Hunter, Shedeur, those guys are going to play. Alamo Bowl probably will be the hottest ticket to get when it comes to the non-playoff bowl games. And like always, will end up being one of the highest rated top 25 matchup. And I would imagine while all the attention will be on Colorado, BYU should do quite a bit. And I don't know, San Antonio's own Heisman winner from BYU, Ty Detmer, I would imagine would be heavily involved in bowl week celebration.
I hope so, and I hope all of the BYU kids are going to do the same. I kind of assume that they will, that they'll all be here. So this may be one of the best talent-wise of any of the bowl games other than the playoff games. I'm looking forward to it. I tell you what, I think it's great. I think the Valero Alamo Bowl, they do a tremendous job anyway, but to have a Colorado here with what Deion Sanders is saying, and this ought to be a pretty good football game.
Yeah.
I mean, these teams will come in here, they'll put some points on the scoreboard, and I think it'll be an entertaining football game. I'm looking forward to it.
Well, and you got a couple of Big 12 teams playing each other in a bowl game, which is just weird, but you get the Big 12 versus Pac-12 or Pac-12 legacy because of the realignment. That would be the conference matchup, but I like it. Of the options that look like that we're coming to the Alamo Bowl, this was the best potential outcome. So get your tickets if there's any available, or call John over at Awesome Tickets, because with Colorado, that's going to be a hot ticket on the secondary market. And the last time you see Shedeur Sanders and Travis Hunter as college players, and probably last time you see them as teammates.
Yeah, I would imagine so. I can't wait to see those guys at the next level, to see where they are at. Shedeur, in my mind, should be the number one quarterback taken in this draft.
Cool.
He should be. So Travis Hunter, where does he go, and how do they use him in the NFL? That's going to be a lot of fun to see, too.
Yeah, the story's just getting started. Let's talk some NFL as we continue here on the Blitz. Live at the Roo Pub, 281 and Redland Road. Come hang out with us. Get ready for Cowboys and Bengals on Monday Night Football here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Riding 1604 with the Blitz.
On the road again. Just can't wait to get on the road again.
Afternoons 2 to 6. KTFM Floresville. And everywhere at sasportstar.com.
1, 2, 3, Cowboys!
South Texas home of the Dallas Cowboys. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Monday night at 7:15. The Cowboys take center stage hosting the Cincinnati Bengals for Monday Night Football.
I like this kind of party!
Pre-game starts after the Blitz at 6. Presented by AA Best Bail Bonds and Ewald Kubota.
This is all cooking. How about them Cowboys?
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. South Texas home of the Dallas Cowboys.
It's football time at BetMGM. Use code KOSTOS, KOSTOS, and receive up to $1,500 back in bonus bets if you don't win your first bet. When you register with BetMGM, you'll get instant access to a variety of parlay selection features, live betting options, original bets, and the best daily promotions in the business. Use code KOSTOS, KOSTOS, and get up to $1,500 back in bonus bets if you don't win your first bet. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 years of age or older. New customer offer. This U.S. promotional offer not available in Mississippi, New York, Nevada, Ontario, or Puerto Rico. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Available in the U.S. For New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. For Arizona, call 1-800-NEXT-STEP. For Massachusetts, call 1-800-327-5050. For Iowa, call 1-800-BETS-OFF. For Puerto Rico, call 1-800-981-0023. Subject to eligibility requirements. Rewards are non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire in 7 days in partnership with Kansas Crossing Casino and Hotel.
It's time to huddle up and listen close. For 2024, we paid tribute to a true game changer in the world of snacks, the unrivaled, the unbeatable, the pork rind. Yes, it's crunch time, and we're not just talking about the last few nail-biting minutes of the game. We're talking about a snack so audaciously crunchy, it puts those pretentious chips and pretzels to shame. So here's to you, Southern Recipe pork rinds, for being more than just a crunch. Southern Recipe pork rinds. It's crunch time. Find your rind at H-E-B.
Buyers Barricades is proud to provide traffic control, rental, and sales for work zones and events in the San Antonio area and beyond. Buyers Barricades, the Texas authority in barricade rental. Learn more online at buyersbarricades.com. That's buyersbarricades.com.
Jason Minnix here from the Blitz for Underdog Fantasy, the place to play if you're a sports fan looking to win money while watching sports. And I love playing the Pick'em game at Underdog Fantasy, where you can win up to 1,000 times your money just by choosing higher or lower on player stats. Think basketball, think football. You can mix, you can match across your other favorite sports and leagues and win money watching sports. And this season, Underdog will be running a special promo or bonus almost every single day, like Profit Boost. Pump up your winnings in just a tap when you apply the boost to eligible entries. Discounts, you'll get adjusted projections on certain player stats to give you a better shot at the win, and they're basically a sure thing with their free picks. A player just has to get higher than 0.5 for that stat pick to win. All new users get a free pick. So download the app, sign up with promo code STAR, and deposit now to get up to $1,000 in bonus cash instantly. Promo code STAR. Must be 18 or over, present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit ncpgambling.org.
The holidays are happening at Diamonds Direct. Still rushing to finish your holiday shopping? Don't worry, we've got you covered. This weekend only, it's our last chance sale with 20% off virtually everything. Earrings, bracelets, pendants, and more. Plus special financing options up to 5 years. But don't wait, this is your final opportunity to find the perfect gift at the best value before the holidays. Plus special designer appearances. Visit us during extended holiday hours or shop online and pick up in store. Our 20% off last chance sale ends Sunday. Learn more at diamondsdirect.com.
Hi, I'm attorney Steve Benke. If you've made the decision to divorce, you need an experienced attorney who can help. I've helped many people get through divorce, custody, child support, and alimony problems. Call me. I'm attorney Steve Benke.
210-DIVORCE or go to BenkeLaw.com.
Thanks to Total Wine, you saved more on all the gifts for the ones you adore. Wine, spirits, beers, all nestled on shelves.
Curbside pickup and delivery available, and the lowest prices for over 30 years only at Total Wine & More.
Drink responsibly. B21.
Not sure how much you know about Progressive Insurance. You may know us for insuring your home and auto. You may know a couple of our commercials. But what you may not know is that since 2013, Progressive has been honoring veterans with vehicle donations through the annual Keys to Progress Veteran Vehicle Giveaway Program, giving back to those who gave so much. Now, you probably didn't wake up today saying, I really wish I knew more about Progressive Insurance, but this seemed like the type of thing people wouldn't mind hearing about. Find out more about how we're dedicated to our customers and communities at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
As a mom, comforting my family is what I do best. Vicks Vapor Stick provides soothing, non-medicated Vicks Vapors in an easy-to-apply stick. And it dries fast, so there's no mess. I use it to comfort myself and my family.
Thanks, Mom.
Vicks Vapo Stick, soothing comfort for the whole family. And when you need more comfort for yourself, try Vicks Vapo Shower Max for steamy Vicks Vapors.
Use as directed. Vapo Stick for use ages 4 and up. Vapo Shower Max use for adults only.
San Antonio's Sports Center.
Bad news for former Texas Longhorn running back Jonathan Brooks. The Carolina Panthers back now tore the ACL in his right knee for the second time in 13 months in Sunday's game against the Philadelphia Eagles. Bad luck for him for sure. Monday Night Football tonight, Cowboys playing host to the Cincinnati Bengals. Cowboys coming in with a 2-game win streak. You can hear that game right here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, beginning after the Blitz.
Joe Reinagel.
That's the third time in 7 seasons the San Antonio Spurs are the NBA champions.
Jason Minnix.
They go back to big day as Super Bowl champions. Dallas 52, Buffalo 17.
It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Game day, Cowboys, Bengals, Monday Night Football. Come watch it with us here at the Rue Pub, 281 and Redland Road. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minnix. Reinagel, great weekend in Vegas.
Great weekend in Vegas. Had a great time. Brought back a little cash.
All right, so you're buying dinner?
I always buy dinner. I think you owe me about 3.
I don't think so.
Dude, I wouldn't even mind. Now, Nick Trey here, who is engineering this fine show today, hey, he could have dinner. I'll be happy to purchase his dinner.
So far, you've only got water.
Well, what do you want me to have? We're working.
Oh, for Nick.
For Nick, he's working too.
Well, if he's anything like Greg Shelton, he eats during the show because afterwards he's got to break all the stuff down.
Well, he can eat. He's looking at a menu right now, as a matter of fact.
Yeah.
How about that?
Yeah.
I'll give you $5, Nick. Anything on there for $5, buddy, it's all yours.
All right. So enjoy the water. Get a fork and a knife.
It was a great weekend in Vegas. Fantastic. Good food. The machines and the tables were good. All of the above. Great weekend. Enjoyed it a lot.
How quickly we get a poll up.
I know it.
Should Joe spread his Vegas wealth and buy Nick a meal?
Well, sure. I already said I would.
Yeah,
I'm happy to do that.
Yeah,
now,
well,
you, on the other hand, I'm not sure about.
Not a $5 meal. I mean, maybe an appetizer.
He knew I was. There's not an appetizer for $5, is there?
Around
maybe chips and salsa.
We're at the roof up, sir.
I know. I'm just saying. I don't know.
Get those Philly cheesesteak fries.
Are there chips and salsa on the menu here? Let me take a gander at the menu.
I don't think there is.
No, I don't think so either. We got Aussie apps. We got crocodile bites.
Yeah.
You got onion rings.
Oh, the onion rings are the best. Pro tip: get it with the side of the barbecue sauce.
Quesadilla and cheese sticks. And they're all over $5. Not much, but a little bit. So I'll splurge.
All right. So Nick, go ahead, man. I'm speaking for Joe. You got a $35 limit.
Dude, you order whatever you want.
I think you should get a bison burger.
Yeah.
Just to try it.
Tell us how it is.
Yeah, get the bison burger. Well, I was going to say cut it in half, and then we'll each eat half of a half. I mean, you could do that.
You can have your own bison burger, Jason. Right. You'll be fine.
Sure. Let's do the headline blitz.
This is Jason and Joe's Headline Blitz. Two guys, two opinions, never enough time.
The New York Giants suck in a big way. I mean, we know the Giants are having a bad NFL season. The Giants yesterday in a thriller lost to the New Orleans Saints 14-11, but not for a lack of trying. The 2-11 New York Giants. What are you showing us?
Some Philadelphia Eagles
walking up.
Who?
Well, your bird is upside down, sir. If you're going to taunt us, at least do it the right way. Your upside down bird. Yeah, it's still upside down.
Dude, your quarterback sucks right now.
Whatever. But the Giants suck, but they have a sense of humor, and they thought they might have a chance to beat the New Orleans Saints. The crazy thing is they were pulling out all the stops, or at least one of the players was. A Giants player, allegedly, gave an OnlyFans model tickets to the game, but she had to flash her
boobies
to try to distract the New Orleans Saints. And she put photos of herself showing off her goods at the game and then a screenshot of what the player said. And I got those 2 free tickets to the game. You have to do a solid and flash the Saints to distract them. And she said, well, I play for the Giants. I've got you. Well, what's your number so I know who to look for? He writes on here, you'll be able to figure it out easily. I can't put my name here and have you put me on blast. I'll get fined, right? But she got the tickets on email, and she screenshotted this. And the person communicating on OnlyFans, the initials are TD. Well, the internet detectives have determined that that's Tommy DeVito. Now, we don't know if it's really touchdown Tommy or not, but he apparently is the only one on the Giants roster. I've not taken the time to go look and verify this myself, but apparently he's the only one with the initials TD.
Well, and that just adds to his legend, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
I mean, come on. If it's him, I would be screaming that from bring the fine. Yeah, guess what? That girl up there in the third row showed her boobs just for me. And obviously it does distract. You see boobs all over the place in New Orleans. That's like nothing new, is it?
But the game was in New York and it was cold outside.
I get it.
Yes.
Oh, so there might have been some headlights going. Yeah. So
might have been. Might have been.
Goodness gracious.
Yeah.
Well, good for him. I hope it was DeVito.
Well,
what else has the guy got?
I don't know, but being aware of your surroundings is one thing. But in this photo where she's taking a picture or having somebody take a picture of her flashing at the stand, and they were good seats. There's a couple of dudes that are about the right age, I don't know, 14, 13, somewhere in there, that if they would have just known to turn around at the right time, they would have had a much better Sunday than watching their Giants lose to the Saints 14-11.
Yeah, they don't get it. Even the guy behind her is not looking at the goods down here. He's watching that crappy football game too.
I mean, it must have been a big moment where a distraction was needed.
Maybe.
And none of the fans were distracted. It is amazing she's doing that, and there's not a whole bunch of people gawking because, quite frankly, it's none degrees out there, and she's got a tank top on. And
you'd think you would notice that.
Yeah, well,
right?
I mean, you'd be like, whoa, kind of, it's like they always show the shirtless dudes on TV. When it's cold outside, they never show the shirtless chicks on TV.
I would imagine that there was nobody watching that football game, so even if they showed her, it wouldn't. Nobody would have noticed. Well, who the hell would say, "Back, honey, I need 3 hours. It's the Saints and the Giants. Don't bother me for the next 3 hours."
You watch your team, although there's always a way to distract a man.
Wow.
And
that's it.
Yeah, that's
certainly
exactly
a good way to do
what it is. Packers-Lions the other night set a regular season record for Prime Video.
Yeah, I thought that was interesting. And I don't know what that is because I don't know how big their numbers are, and it's probably in the deal. I read about half of it.
Great prep work.
Well, I'm just saying. So, but I thought that was, and it was a hell of a game. And Prime is getting some, because that was their main complaint, right? That they weren't getting any good games when they first started this thing last year. This year, they're getting good games. They got that one. This Thursday, they got San Francisco and the Rams, which is a big game for that division.
Yep.
For either one of those teams that wants to stay in that race. So, hey, good for Amazon Prime. They ponied up a lot of cash, and they're finally getting paid off.
Well, and again, I mean, I see these streaming records. It feels like, every time you turn around as the world is switched to streaming, we're going to have these, whether it's Netflix and a boxing match. I mean, obviously, they've got the Christmas Day games coming up with the NFL, and I'm sure we're going to hear, they set streaming records for, Christmas Day games on streaming. Well, it's never happened before. You're going to set a record. You could draft that press release now and go on vacation. So you just kind of go with that. An interesting story, car racing tends to lead to some various fights when you get, crew members that want to go after you.
Wait a minute. And this not, I guess this guy's a crew member. The story, though, is he's a fat dude.
Yeah, he's a fat guy.
And he's fast.
He's a fat dude.
Yes.
Or he's fast for being a fat dude.
Well, he's fast for being a fat guy, but he's pretty fast for a regular guy, too. I mean, it looks pretty fast.
It was on a dirt track.
He was pissed off at another driver, and the guy's running across the track, jiggling as he's going, but he's moving.
Well, he is, and the announcers went all Kevin Harlan and described it all.
The Dome in America Center.
If you could grab, if you could grab Dakota Smith, Blake, if you could grab Dakota Smith, he's the fastest man alive. This is the fastest kid I've ever seen.
This is, oh my.
Blake.
He's ripping the helmet off, trying.
I mean, no need to get anyone over there.
Hey, Blake, could you get an interview?
Give me 1 second.
Yeah, we're not going to get an interview with that guy.
Then he's trying to take the driver's head off. He's trying to rip his helmet off. He was never successful. Then finally somebody comes over and gets this guy off the driver.
Yeah.
But just watching that guy run, it's like, and you see some offensive, defensive linemen that are pretty big fellas, but they're able to move pretty quick.
Well, but they're professional athletes. This guy's in a pit crew at a dirt track.
Well, I mean, he was pretty damn fast.
Yeah, he was pretty fast. Pledge, there is a content creator that could help you out this holiday season. And this is for, guys like James Pledger, no girlfriend, Gotta go to Christmas dinner. You don't want to go alone. A content creator is offering Christmas girlfriend packages so you don't have to attend a family dinner by yourself, Pledge.
Hey, it's reasonably priced, too, I thought. Now, I don't know if it comes with any extras like after you leave mom's house, but
there's always add-ons available.
Well, sure, there's $250, and that gets you 2 hours.
2 hours?
2 hours at dinner.
and what happens at that?
Well, you pretend like she's your girlfriend.
Okay.
But if you want to upgrade, I think it's like $400. She'll stay for 4 hours.
Okay.
If you want to go with the complete package, I think the most expensive package was $650. She'll stay for 6 hours. Pretend she's your girlfriend. Tell stories about how you met.
So lie.
Yeah, they'll lie. Right, but still makes a good impression.
So
on the
for
family.
$250, she doesn't pretend that's the girlfriend?
Apparently not.
You just show up and say,
she's going to go, hey, you cheap SOB.
Pledge hired me off the internet. I'm just here for a free dinner.
Exactly. Pledge is paying me $250. He couldn't pony up the $600, so I'm not lying to you.
No. So for $250, I get a free meal and I got to deal with your mom.
That's it. For 2 hours.
For 2 hours.
Well, my question is, you're having dinner, and dinner's not quite over after 2 hours.
I'm out.
It's like, I got to go.
You punch a clock.
the clock, it stopped ticking.
Well, I mean, or if you go over the 2 hours, is the next fee just automatically charged? So you got to hurry up. I know we're not quite done with dessert yet, but we got to go.
I got to get
when
her
does
back
the clock
home.
Start? when I pick you up, when you show up, or when I get you back to your house? Is it kind of like the rental car return place?
Well,
you got to check in before that time, or they're adding to it.
Now, see, it was unclear on whether the guy picks. I think the girl.
Why did you study this menu so much?
Well, I just thought it was interesting. It's a great country, is it not? I mean, this OnlyFans chick is trying to help out every single guy in the world because, if you go home single, what's your mom going to ask, or grandma or family member? Dating anybody? What's happening? And you bring a chick with you, then that stops all those questions.
Mm-hmm.
So pony up to $600, and you get the story of how you met. And she said that even for $600, she said she'll help mom do the dishes.
Really?
Yes.
For $600, she'll do dishes.
Do dishes. Well, help mom, not do them completely.
Mm-hmm.
But these content creators are really getting creative.
Pledge, would you ever do such a thing?
No, that is a ripoff.
A ripoff. Well, that's kind of what I was thinking. I mean, if you're doing the $600, you ought to get dessert afterwards. I mean, you know what I mean? A little something, anyway.
You saying you want some pie?
What? Yeah. Well, she might be interested in something else. Ice cream, lollipops. I don't know. Something. Specified poundage.
Yeah. I mean, there are a lot of things you can go there, right? But I could see where a lot of people would be, I don't know. I mean, tired of getting all the questions like James gets. You're 43 and single. When are you going to? All right.
I hope there's a catalog. I mean, where you can, because I don't want some,
Well, is this a content creator that has a slew of people that are working for her?
I would assume
for this, or is it just a one-time offer for?
No, it's not. It's not her. The thing about these content creators,
so you can order this off Amazon.
No, you got to go to this girl in her OnlyFans thing. Now, she's got
Here we go.
The song was named after her, right? Well, I like big butts and I cannot lie.
Wow. Okay.
Because she's well endowed in the caboose. So
there's a little hole in the trunk where it can go through.
So she's not horribly looking, but I mean, she's no Livy Dunn. You know what I'm saying?
All right.
So I would hope you have a catalog where you can at least look through and say,
you want to pick out
one.
your own girlfriend.
Well,
you just don't want somebody showing up.
Think of the if this girl that shows up is ugly as hell, then what's mom going to say?
Well, it's better than nothing.
No, I don't know about that.
I'm
not sure.
I mean, if you're James Pledger, you're 43 and you're single, mom's like giving up hope on quality at this point, just somebody with a heartbeat.
I would go draw a picture on the fence. It'd be better than that.
Wow.
I mean, my goodness.
I mean, we're talking about Pledger here.
Okay, well, I think Pledge does okay. I'm not worried about Pledge.
I mean, Pledge does fine in the normal areas, but not so much when it takes part in, I'm going to take this one home to mom, especially for the holidays.
Uh-huh.
Right? Fair, Pledge?
Yeah, I've had some of them, though.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but you're 43. At some point, yes.
Pledge he's doing all right.
Not really. not when it comes to, holiday dinners with the family. And his mom's one thing, his sister is the other one. That's where he really needs this service.
His sister, okay. She's the one asking all the questions.
Oh, my God, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's brutal. Brutal.
Pledge, the offer is on the table.
Well, I mean, you go online and find it, sure.
I'm just saying.
I mean, Reinagel, you make it sound like you're offering to pay for this for James.
I am not offering to pay for it.
It really just sounded like you just said the offer's on the table.
No, from the girl.
Now, are you going to pony up for Pledge for the 2 hours, or are you going to get him the complete $600 package?
I'm not getting Pledge anything.
Oh, I thought you did good in Vegas.
I did, but I want to spend it on some hooker on OnlyFans for you to take to mom.
You're not paying for somebody else?
No. I get nothing out of that. So, absolutely not. You're on your own there, Pledge. Pull out the menu, buddy, and make a decision.
See, again, you make it sound like you're willing to pay for this for James.
I'm curious, though. James ought to try this and report back. So
what you're telling me is you
show
have
content.
No problem spending James's money.
No, not at all. You're the one that says he needs the help. I didn't know he had this much problem with his sister.
You've worked with him for a long time. You should know these things.
Well, I didn't know.
What kind of friend are you?
I've never met his sister, so I don't know. Hey, Claymore says for $600 we're skipping dinner. I don't blame him. That's what I'm talking about.
Well, yeah, but how about them Cowboys?
Have fun, Pledge. Let's know how it goes.
Bengals tonight. Come watch that game with us here at the Roo Pub, 281 and Redland Road. As we continue, we'll get into the Spurs win last night. Plus, game day. The kicker that missed out on $1.2 million.
Wow.
Barely missed that kick. He's from San Antonio. Went to Johnston High School. He's going to join us coming up at 3:35. We'll talk some Spurs. And Chris Paul with another big assist that changes history a little bit. We'll get into that. Coming up here on the Blitz on 94.1 at San Antonio Sports Star. As we're in the month of December, if you've been putting off getting your T levels checked, why drag through days with low energy potentially caused by low testosterone? Make the holiday resolution and go to Synergenics. I recommend the health providers at Synergenics Testosterone and Weight Loss because their personalized TRT goes beyond standard treatments. Book that initial appointment at synergenicshealth.com. Did you know testosterone starts to decline in our 30s? So if you're feeling a loss of energy and drive, it could be low T. Get checked at Synergenics Testosterone and Weight Loss. Don't put it off. Not all TRT is the same. And at Synergenics, you'll get a personally optimized TRT treatment plan from providers who specialize in testosterone therapy. And the professionals at Synergenics are also weight loss experts. Synergenics offers weight loss management with affordable prescription GLP-1 plans. Don't wait. Book that initial appointment at synergenicshealth.com, SYNERGENX health.com for Synergenics Testosterone and Weight Loss.
Imagine finding your dream home and moving in right away. No waiting to sell your old place first. Sounds perfect, right? Jason Minnix here from 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. That's exactly what Orchard's Move First, Sell Later program lets you do. Buy your new home now, sell the old one later. Here's how it works. Orchard gives you cash so you can buy and move into your new home first. On your timeline, no waiting, no showings, no double moves. Then the Orchard experts take it from there. They handle repairs on your old home and make price-boosting upgrades at no upfront cost. Once they're done, a local Orchard agent lists and sells your home for top dollar. Orchard's Move First program gives you the freedom to buy and move into your new home first, sell your old home later. Buy before you sell and get top dollar for your home with Orchard. Ready to find out how much your home is worth? Visit orchard.com to get your free home valuation. That's orchard.com.
Being arrested is embarrassing, humiliating, and potentially life-changing. If you want to rewrite the script on the worst night of your life, then you're going to need a stable of aggressive and skilled attorneys. I'm Gary Barton, owner of Barton & Associates, Attorneys at Law. We are here to get your life and reputation back. Visit TexasArrest.com or call 210-500-0000. That's 210-5-million. As a former major crimes prosecutor, I've seen almost every type of arrest scenario play out, from small degree drug accusations to death penalty capital murders. I've handled almost every type of case the state of Texas can charge you with. At Barton & Associates, we know how to flip the script and get your life back on track. Call us at 210-500-0000. That's 210-5-million. Or visit us at TexasArrest.com. That's TexasArrest.com. Barton & Associates. We are here to get your life and reputation back.
Principal Office, San Antonio.
Lowe's knows that to win the job, pros need the best prices. That's why only at Lowe's, MVP's Pro Rewards members can get a volume discount on eligible orders as low as $1,500 at the Pro Desk. That means you get the prices you need to start any job, small or large, because Lowe's knows pros. Valid in-store only. More terms and restrictions apply. Visit Lowe's.com/terms or Pro Desk for details.
Welcome to Staples.
Help! My family's in for the holidays and I need gift ideas.
That's why we're here. Staples has amazing deals on everything you need. Photo gifts, laptops, and gaming systems. Even custom holiday cards and shipping solutions to send gifts to the family that can't make it.
Perfect! Have anything for Uncle Frank? I love him, but the guy is never quiet.
Noise-canceling headphones. For you.
You get it.
Unwrap huge holiday savings at Staples. And right now at Staples, save up to $350 on select computers. Ends 12/28 in-store only.
Hey, sports fans, if you're not calling John Anthony, you're simply missing out. To prove it, and release your Monday Night Report absolutely free on a recorded message line. 1-800-244-5506. Cincinnati at Dallas. Cincy's offensive line provides excellent protection for the quarterback, allowing him to make plays in the pocket. Dallas defensive line has been more disruptive this season, generating pressure on quarterbacks and stopping the run. Tonight is going to be a monster game. I got the side and total. That's two big plays. John Anthony has you covered. Call now. Hear him for free on a recorded message. 1-800-244-5506. Call 1-800-244-5506. You want the information? I've got it. Cincinnati, Dallas, side and total. I love to go 2-0 and get the next 7 days on me. 1-800-244-5506. That's 1-800-244-5506. Or go to johnanthonysports.com.
Sponsored by JFSR Group.
Listen to 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star on your Amazon or Google smart speaker and just say, Alexa, play 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minnix. Live at the Roo Pub, 281 and Redland Road. Cowboys, Bengals tonight. Come watch it with us. And an Eagle fan here who wants to show off his fandom. He's got an Eagle tattooed on his nipple. And he wants to show everybody. And it looks like he did the tattoo in his backyard.
Is the nipple on is the beak on the nipple?
Yes, it's exactly what it is. Yeah, there's plenty of jokes that could be made about the placement of that eagle.
That's true fandom, right? I mean, he's got a tattoo, but you notice nobody sees it.
Well, yes. I mean, you got to hide some.
You should have put that thing on your forehead or something.
Well,
you know what I mean?
see, I mean, fans like that, it's like he could have put it on his forearm. There's other tats there, but. When things are good, he'll show that off. When things are bad, it's kind of hidden because he doesn't want people to know, which is typical of Philadelphia fan.
I agree.
Yeah.
Typical Philly fan. Not a fan of Philly fan.
Man, Spurs got a win last night. And that was a good win for the Spurs to get back to 500. They beat a bad Pelicans team. But early on, it wasn't looking all that good, and everybody was getting hurt. But all in all, a solid win, a needed win for the San Antonio Spurs.
Well, look, I mean, and I'm not taking anything away. It's a good win, but the Pelicans suck.
Well, they do.
They're not very good, and
but they scored 34 points on the Spurs in the first quarter, and I was thinking, oh crap, here we go again.
That's a problem. You got to play better than that. The good news is that Chris Paul moved into second place in career assists. He passed Jason Kidd into second place. The bad news with that is he's never going to catch John Stockton.
Nah.
He's like 3,000 assists behind Stockton.
Only 3?
Yeah.
So you're saying there's a chance?
Yeah, and if he plays another 10 years, I mean, what's an average assist per year? 300 seems like a lot.
I don't know, but the Spurs celebrated that appropriately, which was cool to see with the photo and the celebration in the locker room. And for being new to this team, Chris Paul certainly appreciated what the Spurs did for him after the game.
Oh, man, it was cool. It's a lot better since we won. You know what I mean? Given the fashion that we won. But, yeah, man, it was really cool. The guys, they gave me a memorable gift, not only a win, but a ball and a big picture with all the teams that I've played with, but more so all the guys that I've assisted in my career. And I definitely wasn't expecting that.
That's got to be a hell of a plaque with all the guys he's assisted. Yeah. I saw it, but I don't know how you squeeze all those names in there.
Well, it was
a lot of names.
A small font, but the thought that put into that, whoever came up with that idea, the way the photo was done with the matting and all the uniforms that he has worn, and you realize how well traveled this guy has been, but almost looked to me like the Stanley Cup, where everybody that wins the cup, their name is on there. Yeah. For that to get on there, and of course he had 10 assists last night. But very, very cool, very well done gesture, and thought of far in advance for them to have that put together, ready to celebrate such a milestone, which I thought was really, really cool. And like he said, at least they did it in a win. I wonder if the celebration would have been a little bit more subdued had they not won that game.
I don't know. I mean, that's a hell of a milestone. And the fact that he's with San Antonio and he's very happy to be here, I think they would have done it either way. I'm not sure how subdued it would have been had they lost, but good for him that they did get the win. So that's a good thing.
Very good thing. Let's talk some college football in the playoffs coming up. Longhorns don't win the SEC, but they're still in the playoffs. Now they get a home game against Clemson. We'll get into that as we continue here on the Blitz live at the Roo Pub, 281 and Redland Road, getting ready for tonight's Monday night game between the Cowboys and Bengals here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Hey, this is Rob Thompson here from my friends over at Prize Picks. It's Pixmas time, my friends, and Pixmas means one thing to me, and that's 200 times my money. Yes, for a shot to win up to 200 times your cash, there's no better place to go than Prize Picks, because that's what they're doing. Me and millions of others are there for this very reason. Go and get your money. You know how to play fantasy. You know what to expect. Pat Mahomes going to have a good week. What about Wemby? Is it going to be more? It's going to be less. You've done it before. Go do it again. What I love about Prize Picks is they always take care of me. Now they're taking care of 200 times my money with just a couple of clicks. For your shot at up to 200 times your cash, go download Prize Picks and start playing today. Use the code word Alamo. That's 200 times your money. I can't say it more often. What a great way to play along with all your other fantasy stuff. Go play today. That's Prize Picks. Code word Alamo. Run your game.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hi, I'm Dr. Peter Stahl, board-certified urologist and senior vice president of men's sexual health at HIMSS. In my 12 years of practice as a reproductive urologist, I've helped many guys with ED, and it has never been more convenient to treat than it is right now, thanks to HIMSS. It really wasn't easy before. You had to take time out of your day, come to a physical office, and see a specialist like me in person. Now, through HIMSS.com, you can get world-class sexual health care and a full range of treatment options for ED through a 100% online process. It starts with a free assessment from a medical provider licensed in your state who can determine if ED treatment is right for you. If prescribed, your medication is shipped to you for free. So don't wait. Join the hundreds of thousands of guys who've gotten help for their ED through HIMSS.
To start your free online visit and find ED treatment at up to 95% off brand name prices, go to hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit.
Need to hire? You need Indeed. Their end-to-end solution helps you attract, interview, and hire candidates all year round. Schedule and conduct virtual interviews right from your Indeed dashboard. Learn more by visiting Indeed.com/credit.
At the Institute for Functional Health, we are dedicated to helping you live life fully, playing with your kids, golfing, and feeling great without relying on pills. We're not about treating symptoms temporarily. We're about extending your health span, the years you live in good health. I'm Dr. Torres, and for over a decade, my team has transformed lives by tackling health issues at the root. Tired of medications without real answers? Take control of your health with us. Call 210-468-1891 for a free Discovery Day consultation or visit iffhealth.com. Improve your health span today.
Getting quality employees to fill positions in your company is essential, but finding those people can be a major hassle, unless you use ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter makes finding quality people a breeze. And right now you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. With ZipRecruiter, one click sends your job to hundreds of top job sites. But more than that, ZipRecruiter's advanced technology identifies the candidates with the skills you need, sends you a list of great matches to review, then actively invites them to apply for your job. And the results speak for themselves. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. That's right, the first day. Now you can focus on your business and let ZipRecruiter do the work finding the best people for you. See for yourself. Experience the ease, efficiency, and power of ZipRecruiter for free. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Hey everyone, it's Ted from Consumer Cellular, the guy in the orange sweater, and this is your wake-up call. If you're paying too much for wireless service, you don't have to keep having that nightmare. Consumer Cellular has the same fast, reliable coverage as the leading carriers for less. And for a limited time, new customers receive their second month free when they sign up and use promo code SECONDFREE by January 26th. So why keep spending more than you have to? Seriously, wake up and call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com.
Taxes, fees, and other third-party charges will apply. See website for additional details.
In Texas, your spouse can claim alimony after just 10 years of marriage. Do you know your countdown? Because I guarantee you, she does. I'm Gary Barton with Barton & Associates. If you're considering divorce, then contact Barton & Associates today at texasdivorce.com. That's texasdivorce.com.
What's on? 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, South Texas home of the NFL. Monday night, Thursday night, and Sunday night football. Presented locally by Flight by Yingling, the next generation of light beer. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minnix, live at the Rue Pub, 281 and Redland Road. Getting ready for tonight's Monday night football game. Cowboys and Bengals. No better place to come watch the game tonight than here at the Rue Pub. Also, your Longhorn watching headquarters. And I know this place was nuts in here Saturday for that Texas-Georgia game. But the excitement all day, really, and the fun, well, until the game was over anyway, on the pregame, game day, you know how they always do the kick with Pat McAfee?
Yeah.
It got up to $1.2 million.
All right, how about this? Kirk Herbstreit said he'll match another $200,000. I will as well. This is an $800,000 kick, Corbin. Yeah! This guy's got no shot. Come on, Harry. Come on, Herbie. Timmy, you want a match?
Yeah, I'll get in there too.
Okay, all right, sweet.
Is that 1.2?
Yeah, it is.
$1.2 million kick. Yeah.
Holy hell.
Let's go.
Everything just got very real all of a sudden. That first attempt was god-awful. But now you got a $1.2 million operation. All you got to do is kick the ball through those uprights. This looks shorter than 33 yards. Stanford.
Is that legally binding?
Yeah.
That's a legally binding offer.
Yeah, we got you,
You're
Timmy.
the lawyer, Corbin. Is that a real offer?
Yeah, it is. It's on camera.
It is? Okay.
$1.2 million.
Come on, Corbin. 1.2.
Holy hell. That's a lot of money. You're a lawyer. You live nice. You wear suits. But $1.2 million can change a lot of things. On SEC Championship Saturday in Atlanta for $1 million! That got pretty expensive for stuff. That was like too close. We got
It was close.
It
was close. And the look of relief on McAfee's face that he doesn't have to give out that money was incredible. The guy that missed the kick and missed out on $1.2 million, Corbin Cessna, is a San Antonio guy, a Johnston High School grad who joins us now on the Buyers Barricades guest line. Corbin, I don't even know what to say, dude. Do you feel bad? I mean, $1.2 million, but the experience, I mean, the fact that, it's got that San Antonio connection made it very, very real. Everybody's phone blowing up. I imagine yours was the same way.
Yeah. Hey, Jason. Thanks for having me on. Yeah, man, I can tell you if I had won the $1.2 million, I would not be sitting in my office right now talking to you. I'd probably be on a beach somewhere, to be honest with you. But, yeah, no doubt about it. One of the coolest experiences of my life. Meeting all those guys was surreal.
So, Corbin, I've got to ask you, that second kick was pretty damn good. You just barely – are you a kicker? I mean, did you practice? Because Jason and I were talking about this. They could have given me 20 tries, and I wouldn't have gotten that close.
No, I am not a kicker. I probably have kicked maybe a handful of footballs in my life, just, maybe messing around at football practice in high school or something, but – no practice kicks. The first rule they told me was no practice kicks. So that was, that first one, you could tell that was, I hadn't done that in a long time. It was pretty bad, but, made some adjustments and made the second one a little better.
Now, obviously, you knew, tradition tells us watching you were going to get a second try. So when you missed the first one, were you disappointed or were you thinking, okay, my next kick, because they always up the ante, my next kick, this is what I'm going to do?
Yeah, I mean, some people are saying that, it might have been a strategic move to mess up that first one as bad as I did, so they did give me the second one. But, yeah, no, I was focusing on getting the ball in the air on the first one, and it went about, 20 feet in the air and about 10 yards distance. So, yeah, the second one was a lot better.
Well, Corbin, I got to ask you, how in the world do you even get that opportunity? What's the process like to have the opportunity to kick for that much money?
Yeah, I attended game day with my parents. And at the entrance of game day, they were handing out, raffle tickets with, 4-digit numbers. I took my parents 2 raffle tickets because, I was joking with them that, they're too old to do the kick. So, if anybody was going to get picked, it was going to be me. So the probabilities are already in my favor a bit. And they called 2 numbers out, and no one was there to claim them. So the third one was mine. And I yelled out that I had the winning ticket, and the producer came and grabbed me from the crowd, and that was it.
So wow. You get just as randomly selected as it sounds when they say that's how they do it. So like they didn't pre-qualify you, like you've never kicked before, right? You just randomly, no. This is how it goes.
No, nothing like that. I'll say I was also skeptical about that, throughout the season. I remember the kid from Oregon who showed up in cleats to kick the ball. And, I was thinking, wow, that's convenient. This guy was ready to go. But no, it was totally random and totally, subject to chance.
Were you nervous when you've got that? I mean, when you get the butterflies in your stomach and wondering what all is going to take place?
Absolutely, man. I was sitting back there, not paying attention to game day whatsoever, just visualizing the kick, texting my buddies, if they had any advice. One of my good buddies was the kicker for our Johnston High School team, and he gave me some good advice. But yeah, I was just, I was locked in back there.
Who was the kicker at Johnston when you were there?
His name was Garrett Hunt. He was our starting linebacker and starting kicker.
All right, so a linebacker, because you played defensive end for Ron Ritterman's Jaguar teams back then, right?
That's correct. I was an undersized, but two-year starter at defensive end, and yeah, that was back in the Ron Ritterman, Blaine Peterson, Jimmy Cueva days of Johnston High School. And I'd like to just give a shout out to the rest of my boys. back in San Antonio on that team. And, all my boys from that team deserve a shout-out.
Well, and again, I mean, you were on the first Johnston team that made it to the playoffs as we visit with Corbin Cessna here on the Blitz. He missed a kick that was worth $1.2 million. I know you've heard from all your boys. Have you heard from Ron Ritterman?
I haven't, but I have a good feeling that we may be at the same Christmas party this weekend, so I'm hoping to see him there, talk a little football, talk about his boy Michael Terry coming to the Longhorns next year, stud athlete, number one athlete in the country. Can't wait to see Coach Ritterman.
All right, Corbin, I got to ask you because you're a Longhorn fan. Obviously, you're all decked out in Horns gear. Disappointing loss in the SEC championship game. Is it time to bring in Arch Manning?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I just want to say anyone out there that's calling for the benching of Quinn Ewers, that is incredibly calling for the hot seat of Coach Sarkisian, is frankly an idiot and should never have an opinion on sports and should never have an opinion on sports ever again. Quinn Ewers is the quarterback of this football team. Quinn Ewers is going to continue to be the quarterback of this football team, barring injury. And Arch Manning's a great player, man. He's the future, but his year's next year. This year's Quinn's year, and I look forward to seeing him bounce back for the rest of the playoffs.
Okay, well, I guess you're talking to the idiot here, Corbin, because after I saw what he did against Texas A&M and then again against Georgia, I mean, my goodness, how many turnovers does this guy have to have? If the defense wasn't so good, they would have lost to the Aggies.
Well, let me ask you this. How many third downs did he bail us out of? How many third and longs did he convert against Georgia? Why aren't people talking about that?
Because he turned the ball over 3 times. That's why. And you can't do that.
When you're in third and long every drive, I mean, God, the probabilities aren't in your favor. He's trying to bail us out on third and long.
You sound like Cowboy fans
again,
with Dak Prescott.
I go with the
don't compare Quinn to Dak Prescott.
Quinn is. I disagree with Joe. It's Quinn's team, but I think he'll be on a short leash once we get into the playoffs. But at the same time, all those third and longs, what is Quinn doing on first and second down? I'm more
handing
curious.
It off to the running back who's getting 1 or 2 yards.
Again, offense, what Sark is calling. I mean, you're answering some of you're a lawyer. You should have a better defense for this. Corbin, out of curiosity, sitting there at the game in Atlanta, missing a kick for 1.2, were your reactions for the misses by Bert Auburn a little bit different this week than maybe previous misses?
Yeah, a little bit. I couldn't help but feel like I brought him some bad juju, man. But I will say I was quickly reminded that he has not been great all year. So that is one area that I do think, definitely needs some improvement and can definitely be improved in the offseason.
I like that guy. He looks like Carrot Top.
Yeah, to a degree. to a degree. Well, and again, the frustration there. I know it was an incredible experience. 1.2 would have been nice, obviously. And I appreciate you being a good sport about missing out on $1.2 million and having to go to work today.
Yeah, no problem, man. Like I said, it was an incredible experience. Would have loved to have the money, but I'm doing okay. I'm doing okay for myself, and we move on. We move on, just like the Horns. We move on, and we look for the next win.
Yeah, Clemson coming up. Corbin, appreciate you jumping on today.
Thanks,
go back
Corbin.
to work.
Yeah, no problem, guys. Really appreciate it. Have a good one.
Corbin Cessna on the Buyers Barricades guest line, where they provide traffic control, rental, and sales for San Antonio and beyond, online at buyersbarricades.com. Now, there is a video up on the San Antonio Sports Star Instagram page at SA Sports Star that Reinagel recorded in the parking lot here at the Roo Pub before the show, calling for the benching of Quinn Ewers. Do you agree with Joe, or do you agree with Corbin on should the Longhorns make a change at quarterback going in to the playoffs with that game coming up against Clemson? 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776 on Twitter, at Joe Reinagel 210. Tweet at me at Jason Minnix, the station at SA Sports Star, or go comment on the video. Let us know what you think. I think we know what Corbin thinks.
Well, and I get it. And I don't understand the loyalty to Quinn Ewers. I really don't. Texas fan, Bob Ballou's the same way. Texas fan have this loyalty to this guy for whatever reason, and I just don't understand it. Don't you want to win? I mean, it just seems to me, and I know the backup quarterback's always the most popular guy in the room. I understand that. When you got a guy the talent of an Arch Manning, who clearly, even Corbin, he's the future. Well, the future's right now. You got an opportunity to win a national championship, and Quinn Ewers, quite frankly, has not lived up to the task this season. And the last two games especially, he's been terrible.
Terrible. See that. I mean, all turnovers suck in the biggest moments, though. Whether you're looking at the playoff game from a year ago, you look at what we saw in the SEC championship game. Hell, this is a guy in the regular season that got pulled to calm himself down. Then I see stats from a state championship game when he played Cade Kublik and the Westlake Chaparrals. Quinn had incredible numbers, but he had 3 turnovers in that game. Westlake beat South Lake Carroll in that state championship game. I am not for the benching of Quinn and having Arch start, but I would like to see more of Arch with the different packages and a short leash. If they're struggling against Clemson, and you make that change, you can't go back. And I think maybe that's what Sark is thinking. And the other part of it, too, again, where you trust your coach, knowing what's best. Maybe Sark isn't ready to give the keys to Arch because not for loyalty to Quinn, but is Arch ready?
Every time he's come in, he's played pretty well.
Except against Georgia.
Well, okay.
I mean, those 2 series against Georgia, he came in, lost a fumble, and didn't do anything either.
He comes in that game against Texas A&M and has one hell of a run. The problem is what Sark's doing with Arch Manning when he brings him in, everybody knows what the hell he's going to do.
Yeah.
He's not going to throw the ball. Arch is in there to run the football, and that's what Sark is doing. And I don't understand it. If you're going to bring the kid in, let him play quarterback. If you want him as a running back, change him to the running back position. I just don't understand it. He makes that run against Texas A&M, which was it was brilliant. I just think the kid has got a bright future, and there's not a better time. I mean, every game now is huge. You lose, you go home.
Yeah.
And it's just a regular old season. Nobody's going to remember, well, Texas made the playoffs, but they lost in the first round. Big deal. Who cares? They should be able to beat Clemson. They should be able to run the football against Clemson. They should be able to out-physical Clemson. All of those things, Texas should win this game going away. They're an 11-point favorite. But if Quinn Ewers turns the football over 3 times, and as everybody's pointing out on our YouTube channel here, nobody's blaming Bert Auburn. Okay, he should get some blame. He missed some field goals. But Quinn Ewers needs to score touchdowns. How about that if you're a Texas fan? Why settle for field goals? Why are you having to do that? Score touchdowns, and you don't have to worry about Bert Auburn missing anything.
Well, and that's as a Longhorn fan, not scoring touchdowns in the first half while dominating the first half. At halftime, I thought Longhorns are going to lose this game.
Yeah.
They weren't doing anything and moving the ball. And quite honestly, with a guy like Quinn Ewers, who will be drafted to an NFL team, and an offensive coordinator like Sark, an offensive line like they have, and I know they're a little banged up on the offensive line, they should be moving the ball better. Talking with Corbin, what about all those big third downs? Why are you in third down? Is it quarterback play? It's
well,
all
the officials were against it.
And the officials were there. Texas should beat Clemson easily.
They should.
Then you get Arizona State. Arizona State is a
hot ball club right now.
A far better team than what most people think they are.
Obviously.
Now, I'm not going to be the I told you so guy, but I've watched almost every Arizona State game this year. That's Gadaboo. A lot of people just learned who he is. That guy should have been a Heisman finalist and then the conversation for real about a month and a half ago. And he'll get the invite to New York. He won't win, but he's played at that level. That quarterback that they have, is legit. And I would imagine a lot of receivers are going to hit the transfer portal and want to go to Arizona State because they've got that quarterback and with what they're doing there. That won't be an easy game for Texas, but Texas should win that game. And then you're likely to play Oregon in the semifinals.
That certainly will not be an easy game to win. It won't be. And the thing that is just mind-boggling is that defense. Texas defense is just smothering. They're incredible, but even the best defenses can't overcome turnovers by your offense. It's just that difficult to do, and that's the problem. Look, Texas fan, you want to go with Quinn Ewers? Go. You live or you die with the kid. Be my guest, and we'll see what happens. I just think it's the perfect time to at least, if you're not going to start Arch Manning, at least have some packages where he can play and be a quarterback and not just a fill-in running back out of the shotgun.
Well, in that play that they ran against Georgia where he came in and they snapped the ball through his legs, that was brilliant.
Yeah.
And Sark has that. But I will go back to what I said, because I was at the Texas-Georgia game in Austin. And a couple of times early, they showed Sark on the Jumbotron. I know I've said this story a couple of times. Sark didn't look comfortable. He looked like he was going to wet himself. And he pulled his quarterback in that game to calm him down. I didn't see that in this game. They came out, they played well in the first half, but they didn't finish with touchdowns. And you could just tell. You could tell at the halftime interview about the officials. Georgia was in their heads. And Georgia came out in that second half, punched them in the mouth. And at that point, I didn't think, I felt at halftime Texas was going to lose that game. And ultimately they did. Kickers got to make kicks, can't turn the ball over. Defense played well enough, but when they needed to get a stop, they couldn't come up with one. I mean, and Carson Beck comes in with one arm.
Yes.
I mean, the idea you knew we couldn't hand.
Not going to throw the ball.
That was the defense you came up with on that particular play.
Exactly. It's tough. And I'm just, we'll see what happens against Clemson. We'll see what happens in the rest of the playoffs. But Texas can't turn the football over. I don't care if it's Clemson, if it's Arizona State, certainly not Oregon. You're going to lose, and that's the problem. So
big games.
I hope it is a short leash because Sark's going to be stubborn and he's going to start Quinn Ewers. The loyalty to that guy just baffles me.
Go comment on the video at SA Sports Star on Instagram. Come hang out with us here at the Roo Pub, 281 and Redland Road. Cowboys, Bengals on Monday Night Football. Nobody ever plans on getting arrested, but it does happen to a lot of people every day for all kinds of reasons. If you get arrested, you want to get out of jail fast, the best way to do that is to call my good friend Albert and his great staff at AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121. You can text the word bail to 474747, or you can start the bonding process online. Just go to mybestbailbonds.com. You don't have to call attorneys or anybody else to get out of jail, and you don't want to be forced into a PR bond. If the jail offers you a PR bond, make sure you truly understand what all those conditions are before accepting it. Your best option for stress-free bail bonds is AA Best Bail Bonds because nobody beats their price. They offer payment plans, have a free shuttle service. They are discreet and confidential and open 24/7 with offices all over San Antonio and Texas, services nationwide. If you're up in Dallas, down in Corpus, anywhere in between, license number 149. Call AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121, or go online, mybestbailbonds.com.
Riding home with the Blitz. Afternoons 2 to 6. KTFM Floresville. And everywhere at sasportstar.com.
1, 2, 3, Cowboys!
South Texas home of the Dallas Cowboys. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Monday night at 7:15. The Cowboys take center stage hosting the Cincinnati Bengals for Monday Night Football.
I like this kind of party.
Pre-game starts after the Blitz at 6. Presented by AA Best Bail Bonds and Ewald Kubota.
This is all cooking. How about them Cowboys?
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. South Texas home of the Dallas Cowboys.
Can you dig it?
Come into any Ewald Kubota dealer and dig the savings on the full line of Kubota excavators, like 0%, 0 down for 48 months. Plus, save up to $10,000 off. Come see us. Kubota deals are here. Kubota deals are now.
Now through December 31st. See us or go to KubotaUSA.com for full disclaimer.
From the Gulf of Mexico to the hill country of Texas, Ewald Kubota is your Kubota dealer.
This holiday season, Straight Talk Wireless is letting you say yes a lot more with real unlimited data. Yes to sharing pics of the ugliest holiday sweaters. Yes to checking weather on the go for surprise sledding trips. And with a free phone at sign up, let the yes-tivities begin.
No way!
Yes way. Straight Talk, real unlimited data. Available at Walmart or straighttalk.com. Offer valid through 1/5/25 while supplies last at participating stores. Taxes and fees apply. Requires in-store activation on select single line plans. Limit of 2 phones per customer. For network management practices, visit straighttalk.com.
You know the Roof Hub has proven to be the best place to watch any big game with those 3 massive 170-inch screens and TVs all around. Football, basketball, all the fights. And when you show up at the Roof Hub, show up hungry. The food is fantastic. Open daily at 11. Great for lunch, great for dinner, great for late at night, and certainly the best place to watch the game. Just down from the big blind, the Roof Hub, right next to the Angry Elephant. 281 in Redland Road. We'll see you at the Roo.
The holidays are happening at Diamonds Direct. Still rushing to finish your holiday shopping? Don't worry, we've got you covered. This weekend only, it's our last chance sale with 20% off virtually everything. Earrings, bracelets, pendants, and more. Plus special financing options up to 5 years. But don't wait, this is your final opportunity to find the perfect gift at the best value before the holidays. Plus special designer appearances. Visit us during extended holiday hours or shop online and pick up in store. Our 20% off last chance sale ends Sunday. Learn more at diamondsdirect.com.
Flight by Yingling is the next generation of light beer. For those who don't follow trends, but craft them. Flight by Yingling is 12 ounces of uncompromised refreshment from America's oldest brewery. With only 2.6 grams of carbs and 95 calories, this is premium refreshment 6 generations in the making. Don't just raise a glass, raise the bar. Flight by Yingling. Available wherever beer is sold. DG Yingling & Son Incorporated, Pottsville, Pennsylvania. Please enjoy responsibly.
Buyers Barricades is proud to provide traffic control, rental, and sales for work zones and events in the San Antonio area and beyond. Buyers Barricades, the Texas authority in barricade rental. Learn more online at buyersbarricades.com. That's buyersbarricades.com. Not all pizza places are the same. Mellow Mushroom originated hand-tossed, stone-baked classic Southern pizza. Not in the mood for pizza? Order a calzone, hoagie, sandwich, burger, or a mellow salad and see how care goes into every item on the menu. Take your pick from 24 draft beers and or handcrafted cocktails. And many of the pizzas can be made gluten-free or vegan. Mellow Mushroom is at 1604 in Stone Oak Parkway. Hang with friends, watch the game, and mellow out at Mellow Mushroom.
Sweetie, come here. Don't worry. I see a lot of patients with the exact same thing.
Ever since the ice skating rink went in next door?
Or is it more than
Dr. Clark's business is heating up.
So many patients need my help. How will I find time to see all of them?
They need to hire a scheduler, stat.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. When you sponsor a job on Indeed, it's easier for talented candidates to find it, which makes it easier for you to hire them. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
San Antonio's Sports Center.
Spurs guard Chris Paul now in second place in career assists, surpassing Jason Kidd last night in the Spurs win over the Pelicans. Paul has 12,092 career assists. Monday Night Football tonight, Cowboys playing host to the Cincinnati Bengals. Cowboys come in with a 2-game win streak. Joe Burrow's pretty good, though. He leads the NFL with touchdown passes with 30. You can hear that game right here. 94-1 San Antonio Sports Star beginning at 6.
Joe Reinagel.
That's the third time in 7 seasons, the San Antonio Spurs are the NBA champions.
Jason Minnix.
They go back to big day as Super Bowl champions. Dallas 52, Buffalo 17.
It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minnix. Live at the Roof Hub, 281 and at Redland Road at Cowboys Bengals tonight on Monday Night Football.
Ought to be interesting. An interesting football game for sure. And I'm looking forward to watching it. Might even watch a little Simpsons.
Well, again, the Simpsons promotion that we're watching here at the Roo Pub, obviously without sound, is well, I think sound might be on, but we've got headphones on, is making me a little bit more interested. I'm curious, but I don't know if I can watch the entire game that way. What does surprise me is the ESPN crew. Laura Rutledge does pick the Cowboys. Everybody else is going Bengals, but everybody had this as a close game. That surprises me.
Well, it's interesting, and I think it could be close just simply because of the Bengals defense. The Bengals defense is just awful. Cowboys should be able to run the football on them. CeeDee Lamb ought to be able to do just about whatever he wants to do. Jake Ferguson's back. You got Cook's back as well. So I think the Cowboys will score some points. My question is, can they keep up with the Cincinnati Bengals, who should be able to score some points as well?
Well, I just look at it. The Bengals score touchdowns and the Cowboys kick field goals, and that's not a recipe for a win.
Not at all.
I know. I think all three of us in our prime picks took the Bengals to win this game. I'd love for the Cowboys to win, but I wouldn't put money on the Cowboys winning this game or covering in this game. I just don't know that the Cowboys have the offense that could keep up in any kind of a shootout with the Bengals. They've got to get an off-schedule touchdown. You know, like against the Giants, Overshown had that pick six. Can you get a Turpin kick or punt return for a touchdown, a defensive score? Something like that has to happen, I think, for the Cowboys to have a remote shot at beating the Cincinnati Bengals.
And establish your running game and long drives. That's something to keep Burrow and company on the sideline. If they can do that, they'll have an opportunity to keep this thing close in the fourth quarter. The Bengals defense, though, and I can't stress this enough, is just horrible. The Bengals average 30 points a game. That's what their average is this year, 30 points a game. But their defense is giving up 36 points a game. And that, to me, is that's just horrible.
You know what helps your average? Play the Cowboys.
Yeah, maybe so. Right?
I mean, that might actually do it for the Bengals. Of course, you can listen to the game tonight here on 94.1 at San Antonio Sports Star. Their pregame gets going at 6 as we go off here at the Roo Pub. Cowboys broadcast brought to you by AA Best Bail Bonds and Ewald Kubota here on San Antonio Sports Star. But come watch it here at the Roo Pub, although I just saw a deal on MySA. Apparently, traffic just sucks today.
Really?
Because of accidents all over the place. On the southwest side, you've got a wreck on I-10 that's got traffic stacked up for miles, and then 35 and 1604, also a wreck apparently in that area that has traffic backed up. 410 and I-10 crash likely, causing delays there. I mean, it's just like, what the hell's going on?
Wow.
I mean, it's not like we have bad weather today.
No, the weather's actually great.
All the rain from the weekend was brutal. I know, leaving downtown Saturday after the rock and roll, there's a couple of wrecks and trying to maneuver around all of that, but that's weather related. Today's a gorgeous day, so can't be the rain's fault. But at the same time, you talk about being a gorgeous day with our bipolar weather that we've been having here in San Antonio. Same in Dallas. The roof will be open tonight.
How about that?
They've already opened it. Nothing fell. So the roof is going to be open tonight, or at least it's open right now with the intent of being open during the game.
Well, I wonder, is it not cold in Dallas today? Because it's supposed to be really cold here tomorrow. So usually that stuff hits Dallas, obviously, before us. But I was kind of curious. It may be a little chilly in Dallas tonight.
Well, I would imagine it's going to be in the 60s. Unless the Cowboys Pro Shop needs to sell extra hoodies and jackets.
Sure.
It's a possibility.
Why not?
A lot of times you go to that game thinking the roof's going to be closed, so you don't need to pack for bad weather.
No, you don't. And that surprises me. I just think Jerry really wants to open that roof. He wanted to do it the last time that they had a primetime game and wasn't able to do that because some things happened. But he's got that opportunity tonight, so he's going to take advantage of it. And obviously no rain expected there in Dallas, or they wouldn't be opening that thing up. So good for Jerry. I hope everything works out for him tonight.
Well, and they have officially moved Zach Martin to IR. No surprise there. They've elevated cornerback Andrew Booth from the practice squad for the game tonight. So they'll have some additional help in the secondary, which obviously those guys are going to get tested tonight. They're going to have to I don't know if you can cover Jamar Chase and all the weapons that Cincinnati has.
Well, Trayvon's going to have that duty, I would imagine.
Well, and where's Bland going? Higgins? Those extra guys. The question is, can they put some pressure on Joe Burrow? Can Micah Parsons and Overshown get that pressure? Odigizua that's the only way they're going to have a chance tonight against Cincinnati. To me, is that defense is going to have to play out of their mind, which they played better the last couple of games in this win streak, but they haven't played anybody Drew Lock and Joe Burrow. The only kind of similarity there is they both have quarterback next to their position.
That's exactly right. A little bit tougher challenge than the Giants quarterback, that's for sure. So it's going to be interesting, though, and the fact that the Cowboys are coming in on a 2-game win streak, that's good for them. Get people excited about watching this game. Because I'll tell you what, when the schedule came out, I mean, you were looking at this game going, damn, that's going to be a hell of a game. That's going to mean something. Obviously, it doesn't mean a whole hell of a lot in the scheme of things unless one of the other teams goes on a hell of a run. But I'm excited about it. I want to see it, and it may ought to be fun.
I mean, it's Monday Night Football.
Yeah, it's the Cowboys, and it's Joe Burrow.
Well, and again, it's like this weekend we looked at the schedule and what are the marquee games? I mean, Packers-Lions was the best one. Then you had your Sunday night game. And it ended up being another great Sunday of football, as it always is. The Eagles got a scare from the Carolina Panthers. The
Panthers playing better.
Seahawks beat the Cardinals. That Bills-Rams game was just incredible.
Yes, it was.
I mean, there was some interesting football games.
There were some interesting football games. It's funny how you get to the point in the season, you're high on a team, like we were 3 games ago with the Arizona Cardinals. Now they've lost 3 in a row, and they're starting to fall off the map a little bit there. Although in that division, nobody's really out of it. And Seattle's starting to come through. They show that maybe they're the class of that division this year. It's funny how the NFL season, man, it's definitely a marathon and not a sprint. And you got to have some staying power, that's for sure.
Well, I mean, San Francisco got a win yesterday.
A big one.
San Francisco and Arizona 6-7 in the West. The Rams 7-6, and Seattle at 8-5. The Seahawks in the driver's seat for the West, although they can't get comfortable behind that wheel, that's for sure.
Well, and I wouldn't rule out the Rams. I think with those 2 wide receivers, man, although Kupp was a little bit dinged up after yesterday, but with those 2 wide receivers and the veteran Matthew Stafford, I think those guys, they have a chance. That's for sure. They have a chance. Cowboy James was just here and left us a little note to say hello. Appreciate you, Cowboy. How about that?
Walked in.
He walked out, left us a note, and then left.
Yeah.
He could have stuck around.
Hey, he could have.
But that's all right.
I mean, when you look at the Rams, they got San Francisco next week.
Oh, he says he's on the clock. Sorry. Yeah.
He's on the clock.
He's on the clock.
All right. Then you got the Jets, Cardinals, and Seahawks for the Rams when you look at their schedule coming up. So, and that's what you want. I mean, unfortunately for the Cowboys, they're probably not in that conversation, playing down the stretch. Now, if they win tonight, all bets could be off.
You got Carolina next week.
But you look at Carolina has been playing good football.
They have been.
And
Bryce Young.
And Bryce Young has been playing well, and I don't want to say should have, but they had an opportunity to beat the Philadelphia Eagles. And we're such a week-to-week league in judging teams. Who's the best team in the NFC? Is it Detroit or is it Philadelphia?
Or Minnesota?
Last week you said Philadelphia, and now you got Minnesota in there. And, Minnesota's got a decision to make, as they ripped apart their old quarterback who keeps throwing interceptions, and Kirk Cousins. With Sam Darnold, do you re-sign Sam Darnold and figure out J.J. McCarthy later? Because somebody was going to offer Sam Darnold a boatload of money.
Yeah, somebody's going to sign that guy, and luckily he's resurrected his career this year, that's for sure. What do you have, 5 touchdowns yesterday?
Yeah.
That's just incredible. Now, Atlanta is Atlanta. But yeah, Sam Darnold is playing some good football, and that whole division is good. Although I'm not sold on Green Bay. Not sure that they're a playoff team or a deep run playoff team. That's for sure. So, but a good division with Detroit. They're finding ways to win and getting it done.
We'll talk some Cowboys football around the NFL with the Moose, Daryl Johnston. He will join us at 4:35 here on the Blitz. But this Bill Belichick going to North Carolina story, there might actually be some legs on this story. Let's dive into Bill Belichick going to college.
Wow.
We'll get into that coming up here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
San Antonio Sports Stars 50K Pro Football Pick'em giveaway is back. Head to USASportsStar.com and pick the winners of each pro football game every week to earn points for each correct pick. Highest points each week wins a $25 gift card to Mellow Mushroom. Highest points overall scores $1,000 worth of tickets from A Awesome Ticket. Pick the winning ticket of every regular season game. Win the grand prize, $50,000. This is an audience national contest across multiple markets. The 50K Pro Football Giveaway. Register and win at SASportsStar.com.
Hey, let me tell you about TSAOG Orthopedics and Spine and their partnership that is revolutionizing access to care for orthopedic patients. It's called the HURT app, and it provides free 24/7 access to orthopedic expertise. HURT is the app to have before you need it. Don't wait for an injury to happen. Download HURT now for free, fast virtual access to orthopedic specialists. The HURT app is available in the App Store and Google Play. You can learn more about the HURT app and the Ortho Now Injury Clinic online at TSAOG.com. That's TSAOG.com.
George gets justice. Hurt in a wreck? Get George. Hit by an 18-wheeler or commercial truck? Get George. Injured at work? Get George. When you're dealing with personal injury, you need to get George because George gets justice. I'm George Salinas, and my San Antonio-based firm has been recognized across the state of Texas and the United States. Call George Salinas Injury Lawyers today at 210-225-0909 or visit getgeorge.com.
George gets justice. GetGeorge.com.
Thanks to Total Wine, you saved more on all the gifts for the ones you adore. Wines and beers all nestled on shelves. Got some advice from our helpful elves. Oh, so many gifts to explore when you go to Total Wine and More. Bottles so delightful, whoa. Priced so amazingly low.
With the lowest prices for over 30 years, you'll always find what you love and love what you find. Only at Total Wine and More.
Drink responsibly, B21.
Progressive presents good news, bad news, dumb news, then great news. Good news. While leaning over the fence, your neighbor said you could save money bundling home and auto insurance with Progressive. Bad news. Your neighbor leaned over a little too much and broke your fence. Dumb news. Somehow fence wood is more expensive than wood. Great news. You decide to see if you could save money bundling at Progressive.com and to plant really tall shrubs. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers not available in all states.
I got a line.
He got a line.
She got a line. We got 4 lines. Cricket Nation. Cue finger guns. Really easy. Super stress-free. 5G so fast. Like blazing fast. Games and memes. You'll have a blast. You can get fast 5G across 4 lines. You can get fast 5G across 4 lines. As we discuss, take it from us. We 4 are one. Cricket Nation.
And only $25 a line. Welcome to more lines. Welcome to Cricket Nation. Smile. You're on Cricket.
Cricket 5G requires a compatible device and is not available everywhere. Discount varies by line. Fees may apply. Terms and restrictions apply. See cricketwireless.com for details.
This is an important notice to all U.S. taxpayers. The IRS is giving away billions of dollars in tax savings through a federal program called the Fresh Start Initiative to aid delinquent taxpayers. This initiative was established for anyone facing financial hardship and unable to pay their back taxes. Qualifying and enrolling in this program will stop all collections, settle your delinquent tax problem, and even reduce what you owe by thousands of dollars. Call the hotline at People's Tax Relief to see if you qualify and get this free information by dialing 800 800-419-2387. If you have unfiled tax returns or cannot afford to pay your personal or business back taxes, you can now get the help you need. One simple phone call can resolve your tax problem and save you thousands of dollars. To see if you qualify and to get this important free information, call 800-419-2387. 800-419-2387. 800-419-2387.
Whether you're ordering wings for the game, whipping up a 7-layer dip, or ordering pizza, there's something about football that makes you want to eat. And this football season, Uber Eats has the best deals on game day food. No matter what you're craving, from 2-for-1 pizza to buy one, get one wings, Uber Eats will be dropping new deals each week, all season long. Uber Eats, official on-demand delivery partner of the NFL. Order now. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details.
Divorce is a fight. If you don't want to get knocked out of the ring by your spouse, then you need an aggressive law firm with a stable of hard-hitting attorneys at your disposal. Contact Barton & Associates today. Visit TexasDivorce.com. That's TexasDivorce.com.
Listen to this station anytime, anywhere on Odyssey. Odyssey is your new audio home for all the music, news, sports, and podcasts that matter to you. Odyssey. That's AUDACY.
Sweetie, come here. Don't worry. I see a lot of patients with the exact same thing.
Ever since the ice skating rink went in next door,
Or is it more than
Dr. Clark's business is heating up.
So many patients need my help. How will I find time to see all of them?
They need to hire a scheduler, stat.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. When you sponsor a job on Indeed, it's easier for talented candidates to find it, which makes it easier for you to hire them. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
It's the Blitz with Jason and Joe on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minnix, live at the Rue Pub, 281 and Redland Road. Great place tonight for Monday Night Football. Cowboys.
Great place for anything.
Bengals. Absolutely. Your holiday parties. Look like there's going to be a party in here. Lady walked in with a bunch of balloons.
Yeah, I saw that.
You know, they got the areas for that, the game room in the back. They got the new bison burger on the menu.
Going to be interesting. Has Nick tried that yet? Have you tried that yet, Nick? No?
No, he's on his fourth energy drink.
Is that what he's on?
Yeah.
All right. What happened to Shelton is what I want to know. I'm not. That's no disrespect to you, Nick, because you won't believe this. Oh, they sent Shelton to Six Flags. Six Flags. Yeah, he's over at Fiesta, Texas. Okay, he's riding roller coasters. No, he's not riding. He's scaring kids. He's scaring kids. Yes. Yes, he's not riding roller coasters. Yeah, the Grinch called in over at Fiesta, Texas, and they called the backup in to be the starter for the day. Yeah. His name is Greg Shelton. Yes. Well, I totally buy that. Yeah. Yes, I do. So, well, okay, I understand. Now, love having Nick here. Yeah, but sending Shelton to be around a bunch of kids is about as far-fetched as Bill Belichick becoming a college football coach. And when this story first broke last week, my initial reaction, well, that ain't going to happen. Who does he know? Is he just practicing his interview skills, trying to create demand for himself? I didn't take it serious. No, nobody did. Apparently we all should, because apparently this is serious. In fact, they've met a couple of times, including supposedly 5 hours on Sunday, yesterday. Now, transfer portal opens today, so they've got to hurry and find a coach. Now, there's a lot of different reports out there that Belichick wants this job and then can bring his son Steve in, and then Steve would have to take over and blah, blah, blah. But this seems more real than not real for Bill Belichick, which also tells me his representatives have figured out there is no future for him as a head football coach in the National Football League. And he was surprised. I saw a report today that he has not been contacted by anyone in the National Football League for a coaching job. So, and why would they, quite frankly? I get it. The guy's a legend. He's one of the greatest of all time. But, he's not a long-term solution for anybody. And now North Carolina's finding that out. And I wonder, now look, having Bill Belichick there for 2 or 3 years would give them great publicity. I'm sure more of their games would be on TV. Recruiting could be great too, but they've got to decide, do they want to agree with all the terms? I don't know how good of a coach his son is. I mean, what is he? He's a defensive coordinator somewhere.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, and if you're North Carolina, because apparently there was interest from Johnston from Tulane, but Tulane has announced today that they've reached an agreement with him on a contract extension. You also heard Matt Campbell. He was supposed to be a candidate. He is not over at Iowa State. And it feels like Matt Campbell gets talked about for every job out there. Now you've got Jeff Monken from Army is a possible candidate. The defensive coordinator at Georgia, Steve Wilkes, his name is being talked about. And then, of course, you know, this Bill Belichick. Now, Belichick was on Pat McAfee today. And he went back into Coach Belichick mode when it came to specifics about the job and the interviews and stuff like that. But he did very much open up in a hypothetical way, if you will, with McAfee on what a Belichick program would be like at a college level.
Let me put this in capital letters. If I was in a college program, the college program would be a pipeline to the NFL for the players that had the ability to play in the NFL. It would be a professional program, training, nutrition, scheme, coaching, techniques that would transfer to the NFL. It would be an NFL program at a college level and an education that would get the players ready for their career after football, whether that was the end of their college career or at the end of their pro career. But it would be, you know, geared toward developing the player, time management, you know, discipline, structure, and all that. That would be life skills, regardless of whether they're in the NFL or in somewhere in business. And, you know, I feel very confident that I have the contacts in the National Football League to pave the way for those players that would have the ability to have the opportunity to compete in the National Football League. Whether they're good enough or not, I don't know, but they would be ready for it. I don't have any doubt about that. So, you know, that would be the first comment that I would make, you know, relative to the structure of the program. It would be an NFL program, but not at the NFL level.
Well, you know, I find that interesting, and I get it, and I'm sure he would be able to help it with some of the stuff behind the scenes that you need to be an NFL football player. But look, North Carolina's had many players in the NFL before Bill Belichick. I'm just not sure if the conditions, if those reports are true, that he has conditions on him going there. What's in it for North Carolina other than the immediate reaction? And maybe that's enough for them. I don't know. But if you know that you got to have his kid, and who knows how good his kid is.
Well, my first thought was something that Saban said over the weekend, that college football now is a business. It's more business dollars and cents than it is building the relationships on the recruiting trail. So can you offer them enough money? Can they put that roster together? If you want a real NFL environment and not a college environment, now, does the kid want that? Parents might want that. All these coaches at these major programs have relationships in the NFL. It's not like Bill Belichick is the only guy that can call all those guys. I think all those coaches, they all know each other. They can all send it out. But having a structure that is more NFL-like than college-like might be an advantage. And if you're a parent, man, you go play for Bill Belichick, he's going to get you ready for the pros. There's something to that. At the same time, with all the dollars that are being talked about, 18, 19-year-olds, I mean, one of the big stories last week was the amount of money spent in NIL dollars on high school kids going to college that is already starting to cause some issues with juniors and seniors. This guy isn't even on campus yet and has more NIL money than I do. Again, for North Carolina, you're North Carolina. Swing for the fences, and there'll be a lot of attention on that program in a similar way, not the exact same way, that Colorado got that attention by bringing in Deion Sanders when people questioned whether Deion Sanders could actually coach at that level. He's proven that he can, but the attention that he's brought to Colorado, would that same kind of attention go to North Carolina if Bill Belichick is the head coach.
I don't think there's any question it would. Because people would want to see how Belichick does on the college level. And he's Bill Belichick. I mean, yes, I think he would get that same sort of attention. North Carolina's just got to see, is it worth it? Is it worth it to bring him in to get that attention for 2 or 3 years, however long it may be? And then when he goes away, that attention goes away. His son would be the head coach, but he's not going to get the same attention his dad's going to get. So North Carolina's got to decide, are those conditions that reportedly Bill Belichick is putting on North Carolina to hire him, is that worth it to North Carolina?
I look at what Jeff Monken has done at Army, and you wonder, what could he do at a North Carolina? You look at some of the other coaches that are on that list, somebody with the kind of experience of running a program, and could actually North Carolina be actually cutting edge? Like, we need to build an NFL program to get guys here to get them ready for the NFL. Yeah. That's more attractive than, say, a UT or an Alabama or a Texas A&M. Because you're getting ready for the pros.
I think it's coming to that for sure. We've already talked about, I think there should be general managers. Now some schools are hiring general managers. There should be a salary cap. That should happen. There should be a trade period like they have in the NFL. I think all of that stuff should come to college football now. I think it's time. It's moving. And if Belichick can put that in place and maybe be an example to the rest of the country, so be it. But again, North Carolina, you're rolling the dice. If he's not successful, I don't care if he's Bill Belichick or not, that attention's going to go away sooner rather than later.
And the question is, how successful will he be at that level? But it does tell me that Bill Belichick wants to coach. And if it's not at the NFL level, and he's surprised that the NFL doesn't want the greatest coach of our generation, nobody wants him, he wants to coach, then he'll end up in college.
Tom Brady have any eligibility left?
No,
that's too bad.
Well, and that
because apparently Belichick can't do anything without Tom Brady.
Although he's got Tom's number, so he could be a pipeline to the Raiders.
And maybe so.
Tar Heel to Raider. I don't know. He's done well on television.
He has.
We know that. Let's talk some Cowboys with a Cowboy that has Super Bowl rings. 3 of them, in fact.
Wow.
3-time Super Bowl
Those
champ.
are old, aren't they?
The Moose. You're calling Daryl Johnston old.
Well, I'm calling his rings old for sure.
The Moose joins us next here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Hey, let me tell you about Stevens Roofing before we get to the Moose. I love talking about Stevens Roofing. Been doing it for a long time now, and I'm happy to do so. Look, they're a family-owned company. It's a local company that has been in business in San Antonio and South Texas for so many years. You don't stay in business as long as Stevens Roofing if you're not doing something right, especially when it's something like your roof, and it's an important piece of your house as that is. It covers everything that you hold dear, your family on the top of that list. You need a roofer you can trust. That is Stevens Roofing. And look, they are capable of doing just about any project you have. You got a commercial building that needs a roof, Stevens Roofing can handle that. You want a metal roof on your house, Stevens Roofing can handle that as well. They're licensed by the city of San Antonio. Estimates are always free. You just have to give them a call, 210-785-0994. And everyone these days is looking to save a little money. So if you've been thinking about going solar, guess what? Stevens Roofing can help you there as well. Look, solar can help you with your monthly utility bills. They often increase the value of your home, and there are even options to keep the lights on when the grid goes down. Jason and I talked about this last week. There are reports out there that it could be 50-50 with that grid when we get our first cold snap. You can be ready for that if you call Stevens Roofing. Stevens has a team of certified experts who will deliver solar solutions that are tailored to your specific needs. So for roofing or for solar, call the local company that's been trusted for decades. Call Stevens Roofing, 210-785-0994. Stevens Roofing has your family covered. Give them a call, 210-785-0994.
The Morning Huddle.
And I went and just opened the closet and grabbed what I thought was a more manly vest.
I wish it would have been your wife's puffy vest.
Well, but the problem was, if I could have zipped it up,
it looks like a life preserver.
That's what it would look like. Is there such thing as a
barely
tube
goes
top
down to his
puffer
ribs?
vest?
Yeah.
Can you make a little tube top puffer vest to cover my, well, I'd say B cups right about now?
The Morning Huddle with AJ and Rob. Weekday mornings 6 to 10. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Jason Minnix here. Do you know your testosterone levels start to decline in our 30s? If you're feeling a loss of energy and drive, it could be low T. The answer is simple. Get checked at Synergenics Testosterone and Weight Loss. Don't put it off. Not all TRT is the same. At Synergenics, you'll get a personally optimized TRT treatment from providers who specialize in testosterone therapy, and you can be evaluated for treatment with GLP-1 weight loss medication. Book your appointment at synergenicshealth.com, SYNERGENX health.com.
Don't let pain hold you back from living your best life. I'm Dr. Jason Garrett with Arasti. At Arasti, we're dedicated to providing fast, effective relief from pain. Whether you've been dealing with a chronic discomfort for years or have recently suffered an injury, our goal is to help you recover quickly. Our treatment is all natural, non-invasive, and covered by most insurance plans. With convenient locations nearby, relief is just a call away. Visit Arasti.com. That's AIRROSTI.com. Arasti, we fix pain fast.
Whether you're ordering wings for the game, whipping up a 7-layer dip, or ordering pizza, there's something about football that makes you want to eat. And this football season, Uber Eats has the best deals on game day food. No matter what you're craving, from 2-for-1 pizza to buy one, get one wings, Uber Eats will be dropping new deals each week, all season long. Uber Eats, official on-demand delivery partner of the NFL. Order now. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details.
Oh, could this vintage store be any cuter? Right? And the best part? They accept Discover. Accept Discover? In a little place like this? I don't think so, Jennifer. Oh, yeah, huh? Discover's accepted where I like to shop. Come on, baby, get with the times. Right. So we shouldn't get the parachute pants? These are making a comeback. I think.
Discover is accepted at 99% of places that take credit cards nationwide. Based on the February 2024 Nielsen report.
Transform your water with Connecticut. For a limited time, receive a free reverse osmosis drinking station, $400 off with trade-in, and 0% interest for 12 months with approved credit. Don't wait. Offer ends soon.
Call 656-PURE, Connecticut.
Buyers Barricades is proud to provide traffic control, rental, and sales for work zones and events in the San Antonio area and beyond. Buyers Barricades, the Texas authority in barricade rental. Learn more online at buyersbarricades.com. That's buyersbarricades.com.
It's your last chance to snag Dell Technologies' lowest prices of the year before the holidays. The future is on sale today with limited time deals on select PCs like the XPS 16 that accelerate AI with Intel Core Ultra processors. This is their biggest sale of the year and the best time to upgrade, but it's only here for a limited time. Shop now at Dell.com/deals. That's Dell.com/deals.
This is the story of the one who, as a maintenance specialist for a historic high-rise, knows that vintage charm historically needs constant attention. Which is why when it's time to upgrade turn-of-the-century mechanicals, they turn to Grainger. With easy access to 1 million+ products and the scale to deliver when and where you need them. The right tools and supplies are never far away. So the one can keep that vintage building running like new. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Welcome to TGL presented by SoFi. Golf's newest league, live on ESPN and ESPN Plus. It's 2 hours of hammer dropping, overtime forcing, playoffs on the line golf. Tiger, Rory, and more of the best from the PGA Tour split into 6 teams. Learn more at TGLGolf.com and tune into the inaugural season beginning January 7th. Keep up, it's golf.
South Texas home of the Dallas Cowboys. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Monday night at 7:15. The Cowboys take center stage hosting the Cincinnati Bengals for Monday Night Football.
I like this kind of party.
Pre-game starts after the Blitz at 6. Presented by AA Best Bail Bonds and Ewald Kubota.
This is all cooking. How about them Cowboys?
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. South Texas home of the Dallas Cowboys.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 at San Antonio Sports Star. Along with Joe Reinagel, I'm Jason Minnix, live at the Rue Pub, 281 and Redland Road. come hang out, pregame, get ready for tonight's Monday Night Football game. The Dallas Cowboys with the roof open playing host to the Cincinnati Bengals.
That's incredible. The roof's open, nothing is falling, and it looks like we're going to get it done tonight. I'm happy about that. Good for Jerry, and because I know he wanted to do it, 2-3 weeks ago, and couldn't do it.
Well, and the fact that the weather is nice enough in December to open up the window. And, you look at the Cowboys still believing they have a chance, even though most look at the Cowboys and think they have no shot at the playoffs. I'm glad in the room they feel that way. You almost have to. And, I mean, a win tonight, you got Carolina next week. Then Tampa Bay, Philadelphia, and Washington to close it out. But they didn't get the help they needed in a lot of ways this weekend. Yes, AJ. And so you just kind of roll through and go with it.
Yeah. Whoa. Yeah, that'll derail you.
Yeah, it will.
No, you do, right? I mean, Cowboys are playing much better, but have they played anybody? And not in this 2-game win streak. They beat the Giants and
Washington.
Okay. And that was on the road, too, by the way. So Cincinnati is going to be interesting just because they're so good offensively. I want to see how Micah Parsons is able to affect the game. He should be able to affect the game. That offensive line is not stellar. It's not horrible, but it's not stellar. He ought to be able to get through. And then that secondary, how are they going to be able to cover Jamar Chase, who I think is the best wide receiver in the game right now? He and Justin Jefferson certainly right there, and CeeDee Lamb's there too. But Jamar Chase is having a hell of a year.
Well, and again, that's where Diggs, if you're a Cowboy fan, you hope Diggs is able to go tonight. Still no official word if he's going to be active tonight or on the inactive list. But they definitely Diggs in that secondary, although I'm kind of looking at Overshown and Micah Parsons in that group. Can they get enough pressure on Joe Burrow to take him off of his spot, maybe to hurry up on some throws, make him feel uncomfortable? And if get a takeaway or two, get a defensive touchdown, a return from Turpin. They've got to get one of those off-schedule scores, I think, to have a chance. And offensively, the obvious, score touchdowns and not field goals. And unfortunately, this Cowboy team kicks a lot of field goals. They don't score a lot of touchdowns, and that's not a good recipe with a high-scoring Cincinnati Bengals team across the way.
And you've got to establish a running game to try and eat some clock and keep Joe Burrow and company on the sidelines. They're going to have to do that. I don't think this Cowboys defense is good enough to keep Cincinnati out of the end zone. If they allow Burrow, if you allow that comfort and you allow him to do whatever he wants to do, it's going to be a long night for the Cowboys. I don't think they can keep up with the Bengals in a shootout. So they're going to have to do some other things and try and shorten the game as best that they can.
Of course, you can listen to the Cowboys-Bengals game tonight here on 94.1 at San Antonio Sports Star, brought to you by AA Best Bail Bonds and Ewald Kubota. You can always watch it with us here at the Roof Up, 281 and Redland Road, which, as you know, there's no better place in San Antonio to watch any game. And for the Cowboys, all the conversation about Mike McCarthy and his coaching status for next year, the last couple of weeks, the tone of that has certainly changed. You wonder if a game like tonight will go a long way for Jerry Jones being on the Monday night stage, the whole Simpsons aspect of it. Let's talk about it with 3-time Super Bowl champion Daryl the Moose Johnston joining us now on the Buyers Barricades guest line in San Antonio. Some work with the UFL and the San Antonio Brahmas. Daryl, it's been too long, man. How's everything going with you on your trip to San Antonio?
Oh, it's been great. It's been great. I haven't been down in a while, so good to see some familiar faces.
It's good to have you here always, and it's good to see the success of the league, Daryl. I think with the Brahmas doing as well as they did last year, we were thrilled, and I think really the city of San Antonio got into what the Brahmas were able to do, but it seemed like that's league-wide. So congratulations so far on the success of this league.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, it was good to see last year. Obviously having been here with the Alliance of American Football and knowing the fan base and being able to reconnect with them was awesome. And then having Wade down here, all he does is win. All he does is win.
That's what Wade.
true,
That's
yeah.
what Wade certainly does. And you look at, we've talked about this through the years through various leagues. Get from year 1 to year 2 to year 3, and you're going to be on solid footing. The merger of the two leagues to create the UFL has certainly been massive. But now that the UFL getting ready for another season, it's an established league now. Even talk of expansion. Obviously, with that kind of talk, things are going well at the league-wide level.
Yeah, I think it shows in the performance of our players and what they've accomplished. And I think we're at 42 right now on the NFL rosters, either practice squad, active, or injured reserve. The cool thing is Jalen Redmond from, I think he's from the old Pittsburgh Maulers team, is up in Minnesota playing defensive line. Dondre Tillman from the Stallions is out playing defensive end, outside linebacker for Denver. So obviously we've had Cavante Turbin as a returner, Jake Bates, Brandon Aubrey as kickers, and the great things that they've done. But it's good for us to step outside that specialist area and really kind of get into some of the line of scrimmage guys, because I think that's an area where we can make a big improvement for these guys when we talk about, time at task and getting into the details of playing the offensive and defensive line positions. So I think that's always going to be real helpful for us, is to have some of our guys from the spring get up to the NFL level at those positions and really start to make an impact.
Daryl, I know nothing's official with between your league and the NFL, but do you see that teams are starting to call other teams now and inquire about players more so than they have in the past?
We were 30 of 32 last year. We're 31 of 32 this year. Now, don't ask me who the outlier is this year. I don't know that. I do know that the two that we didn't have last year actually took part this year. So I think it all depends on what they're looking for. And, I don't know why we didn't get all 32 this year. But it's an improvement over last year. So I think that when you look at what we're doing from a spring football standpoint and getting these guys ready to compete in training camp, virtually every team in the NFL understands that our guys are going to be able to walk into that training camp environment and really kind of step right in on day one and try to make an impact.
UFL Executive Vice President, former Cowboy Daryl Johnston, joining us here on the Blitz on 94.1 at San Antonio Sports Star. And obviously still doing your work with Fox every Sunday, so you're around the NFL teams all the line. Let's talk about where you live in Dallas, offensive line issues. Do you ever say, hey, Will McClay, I've got an offensive line. The lineman, this guy could help. Yeah, you might want to look at this particular piece of tape.
Yeah, Dallas has been one of our biggest advocates for spring football. So, Will's been great, whether, he's sending John Fossil down to take a look at the specialists, but he calls multiple times on players during the build-up towards training camp. So I've had a number of dialogues, with Will. Will's definitely one of our big advocates. And there's a couple of them. They've understood the value of the alternative leagues and have always embraced that. And I think sometimes it's because their background as a player and they wished something like that was around when they were coming through that cycle and they had an opportunity to have an alternate route to get to the NFL. So I'd love to be able to, to get Will, one of our offensive line guys. I think that's our next big step, is to actually have one of our offensive linemen, make a 53 and then get into a game environment and perform well. Because that's the one position I think that we bring a ton of value when we talk about helping a guy, zone in on the details and, work on his craft, is the offensive line position. So, hopefully we'll get that opportunity here pretty soon. We've got a number of guys that have gone up and gotten onto rosters or practice squads, but we've yet to really have that big offensive line breakthrough.
Daryl, I've got to ask you about the Cowboys if I can, because when you look at them, they've won 2 in a row. Are you surprised by that, number one, with this roster and the injuries that they've had? And should we hope beyond hope that maybe there is a playoff spot in their future?
No, they just got to take it one game at a time and continue to work. It's been a challenging year for them, and there's a number of reasons why it's been a challenging reason. So I hope in the after action, when you take a look back and I mean, hey, what happened this year? What were our biggest challenges? That there's a patience involved, because I think that there's legitimate reasons to why this season, after having 3 consecutive 12-5s, went the way it did. And some of those you just pointed out, the offensive line, injuries in the defensive line to start the year, losing some key players, whether that's Deron Bland, Micah Parsons, Dak Prescott. I mean, it's one of those years where there was so much adversity that it's going to have a negative impact. And I think that they've hung in there. Obviously, there were some areas there, and at the peak of all these issues happening, that it was very difficult, for them to compete and play at a high quality level of football against some good opponents. But they've kind of steadied the ship here as the end of the season as guys have started to get healthy. So, that's the big thing for me is let's make sure we don't overreact to a season where I think if you took a step back and looked at it, you'd find out some reasons why it was such a bumpy year. But I don't think that this is a team. You don't have that luxury in a season like this to start talking about playoffs. You're in a 1 week at a time cycle, and you're just trying to play your best football that next game.
Well, and Daryl, as you kind of look back, and I know Jerry and Steven and will do that at the end of the year. Obviously, they got to determine Mike McCarthy's future as head coach, and he'll be a free agent. Does he even want to come back, or will he explore other options? But you use the word patience, and I'm curious, as well as Jerry Jones, how patient is he? Because, we talked about this in the offseason, and this year has kind of proven to be that. I don't think this year was about winning for Jerry Jones based on his offseason moves, because that deal with CD and the deal with Dak could have been done a lot sooner. And had he done that, freed up some money, he could have retained some of the guys that left, or even though the Cowboys are never really big free agent players, they could have been active in free agency. The idea of we're going to hold Dak and CD and get these deals done when they got them done, and get these young players some experience. I kind of feel like that was the plan all along. It's not about winning, it's about development this year, and then next year we'll have some extra dollars and we'll see what we've got with all these young players.
Yeah, I hope you wouldn't sacrifice an entire football season. That doesn't sound like an approach that the organization would take at that time. I don't know why the signings took as long as they did. You would think that those were two players that you would thought long and hard about. I thought the numbers for CD were fair, where he came in at. Unfortunately, they haven't been able to establish any type of chemistry when they were on the field together this season, and it's been a down year for both of them. But I didn't read into it that way, Jason. I didn't see, as this a development year. I think one of the things that Dallas has done well over the last 10 years is I think they've drafted more Pro Bowl players than anybody in the last 10 years. So the drafting and the development is there. It's just reaching their potential. When you have that much talent, why isn't that not transferring into more success in the playoffs?
Daryl, when you look at this football team, though, obviously there's a lot of places that they have to fill in some gaps. And I know that Jerry seems to be thinking some of these young players can do that, and they've been successful in doing that in the past. Do you think this is going to take a few years to get Dallas back, or do you think there's enough talent there that they can rebound next season?
Well, I think you're in a transition when you talk about the defensive side of the ball from a Dan Quinn system to a Mike Zimmer system, which is very different. So do you have the personnel that you wanted, that you need, to run that system efficiently? I don't know what happened with the offensive line. Obviously, what's come to light with Zach Martin and the injury that he's been playing through, all season. Now we know why, that hasn't been the level that we've expected from Zach through a great career. But the other four, I'm not sure why that didn't gel a lot better. There's a lot of individual talent there, but it's just not coming together. And maybe some of the things that we mentioned earlier, the injuries and not being able to establish that chemistry during the course of training camp and early in the season. But I think that for me has been the biggest disappointment. And, the fact that we really waited on the running back position. And there was, talk the last couple of years about that being an undervalued position, and you don't really want to sign anybody to long-term contracts. And, We had that running back summit back in July of 2023. But this year, with what Saquon Barkley's done in Philly and Derrick Henry's done in Baltimore, and really Alvin Kamara down in New Orleans, about ready to have his first 1,000-yard rushing season, I think we're starting to see the value of the running game come back. And I just don't think Dallas was in a position to maximize that this season.
And one day those fullbacks are coming back too, as we visit with Daryl Johnston.
I don't know. Jason, they must be gone for a while.
I mean, one of the greatest to ever play the position, helped the Cowboys win 3 Super Bowls. Now the executive vice president of the UFL, and in San Antonio for this upcoming Brahmas team. Whether he wins the starting job or not, we don't know yet. But getting Kellen Mond to sign with the Brahmas, I think, is huge for the Brahmas, but huge for a player like Kellen Mond. And I know we've talked about this before with the spring leagues. Any chance, are we getting any closer to having third-string NFL quarterbacks or practice squad quarterbacks eligible for the UFL? For example, Trey Lance would benefit greatly from being able to play in the UFL. Are we getting closer to seeing something like that?
Yeah, unfortunately, not anything new to update on that front. The guy we had in our game over the weekend, Drew Lock, he'd benefit from being down here playing. It's quarterback and offensive line. Those are the 2 positions that I think the opportunity to play spring football is very, very important. It's not the game speed of the NFL, but it's much better than anything that those players are going to get at a training camp, at a preseason game. It's going to be an opportunity for them to get into that environment for 10 weeks, the professional environment, the grind day to day, and just get yourself ready. So, yeah, I think that's definitely something we have our fingers crossed for, and we'd love to be able to do, is get to that point where, we've got a relationship where, the NFL has agreed to allow some of their players to come down and play in our league and, cancel those contracts and, have something really, really interesting to help them, with the development of a couple of positions that are very important to the success of NFL teams, and give them that opportunity to work on their craft in a real professional league environment.
Well, it's fun having you in San Antonio. A lot of the executives with the UFL down here meeting with some business leaders in the Alamo Dome, having some fun. We're not that far away from the season getting started.
It's getting here quick. It really is. And we've had a couple of big signings, and Kellen Mond is definitely one of those. Mark Lillibridge, the GM for San Antonio, has done a really nice job. So I'm really impressed by all of our teams. It's been a nice pace in the off season. I think we'll get a little flurry of activity here as we get into late December, mid-January, when those future contracts, the guys have to start making decisions. Do I want to go futures? Do I want to go spring football? And I think every year we validate the path via spring football is going to provide more dividends than just going through a futures contract and going through what the traditional NFL offseason has become today. There's not a lot of work there being done. And I think that those players that are on that margin, that are on that line, have a better opportunity to come down to the UFL and spend a spring with us and then go back to their team. And the more examples we can provide, the better off this league is going to be.
Good stuff. Daryl, my friend, enjoy the rest of your time in San Antonio. Great catching up.
Yeah, always good to catch up with you, Jason. Thanks.
Appreciate it. The Moose, Daryl Johnston, joining us on the Buyers Barricades guest line, where they provide traffic control, rental, and sales for San Antonio and beyond, online at buyersbarricades.com.
Always good stuff.
Well, and I still think, I know it's contracts and who's responsible for insurance and contracts, but man, take those practice squad quarterbacks and put them down in the league. You think about a guy like Drew Lock, and Daryl had the call on that thrilling Giants Saints game yesterday on Fox, and he's right. Drew Lock would benefit from playing 10 games in the spring. Kellen Mond is going to benefit and maybe get another opportunity in the NFL. Trey Lance definitely needs somewhere where he can get reps, and it's obviously not with the Cowboys or the NFL.
Well, and I could see a scenario where Trey Lance plays in the spring league this year. I mean, he's going to be a free agent after this year. I don't see the Cowboys re-signing him. I can't imagine that they would do that, but I could see that happening. I mean, and it would benefit him. And I hope whatever counsel he's getting from whomever he's getting it from would suggest that and say, hey, there's no shame in it. Go down there and play, get some reps. And then who knows? There may be a training camp availability for you come the late summer.
Well, it's the knock on him. He hasn't played a lot of football.
That's it.
Didn't in college, hasn't in the NFL. He's got he needs reps.
Yep.
And good advice. And you look at some guys. I mean, look at a guy like Sam Darnold. He obviously didn't go to a spring league. Things didn't work out initially, but when the game slowed down and he was in the right system, look what it's done for Sam Darnold and his career. In fact, Did you see him yesterday? Let's talk about what we saw in the NFL yesterday. Plus, Jeff Traylor, the head coach of UTSA, will join us at 5:15. If you're having any issues at your house with your plumbing, your AC, your heater, you know there is one company to call, and that is Quartermoon Plumbing, Heating, and AC. Day like today, might have the AC on. Tomorrow, looks like you're going to need your heater. Got a problem with either? Call Quartermoon. Problem with your plumbing? They're full service. Big job, small job, residential or commercial. Their service trucks are fully stocked, and they have all the equipment needed for any job. No commission. Sales reps, they'll provide estimates and second opinions, and they have a great experienced staff that has earned an A-plus ranking with the Better Business Bureau. And at Quartermoon, they are green certified. Call them 210-651-5899, 651-5899, or online at quartermoonplumbing.com.
You're listening to The Blitz. Afternoons 2 to 6. KTFM Floresville. And everywhere at sasportstar.com. South Texas home of the Dallas Cowboys. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Monday night at 7:15. The Cowboys take center stage hosting the Cincinnati Bengals for Monday Night Football.
I like this kind of party.
Pre-game starts after the Blitz at 6. Presented by AA Best Bail Bonds and Ewald Kubota.
This is all cooking. How about them Cowboys?
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. South Texas home of the Dallas Cowboys.
Hey, sports fans, if you're not calling John Anthony, you're simply missing out. To prove it, and release your Monday Night Report absolutely free on a recorded message line. 1-800-244-5506. Cincinnati at Dallas. Cincy's offensive line provides excellent protection for the quarterback, allowing him to make plays in the pocket. Dallas' defensive line has been more disruptive this season, generating pressure on quarterbacks and stopping the run. Tonight is going to be a monster game. I got the side and total. That's two big plays. John Anthony has you covered. Call now. Hear him for free on a recorded message. 1-800-244-5506. Call 1-800-244-5506. You want the information? I've got it. Cincinnati, Dallas, side and total. I love to go 2-0 and get the next 7 days on me. 1-800-244-5506. That's 1-800-244-5506. Or go to johnanthonysports.com.
Sponsored by JFSR Group.
Flight by Yingling is the next generation of light beer. For those who don't follow trends, but craft them. Flight by Yingling is 12 ounces of uncompromised refreshment from America's oldest brewery. With only 2.6 grams of carbs and 95 calories, this is premium refreshment 6 generations in the making. Don't just raise a glass, raise the bar. Flight by Yingling. Available wherever beer is sold. DG Yingling and Son Incorporated, Pottsville, Pennsylvania. Please enjoy responsibly.
Calling all of Cowboys Nation in San Antonio. It's time to gear up with the ultimate Dallas Cowboys apparel. Whether you're heading to the game or watching from home, the Dallas Cowboys Pro Shop has you covered. From hoodies to hats, jerseys to jackets. Find all your Cowboys essentials at any of our 4 San Antonio locations. River Center, Ingram Mall, North Star Mall, and Huebner Oaks Shopping Center. We're open 7 days a week. Find the best selection of Cowboys gear and rep the star loud and proud.
The holidays are happening at Diamonds Direct. Still rushing to finish your holiday shopping? Don't worry, we've got you covered. This weekend only, it's our last chance sale with 20% off virtually everything. Earrings, bracelets, pendants, and more. Plus special financing options up to 5 years. But don't wait, this is your final opportunity to find the perfect gift at the best value before the holidays. Plus special designer appearances. Visit us during extended holiday hours or shop online and pick up in store. Our 20% off last chance sale ends Sunday. Learn more at diamondsdirect.com.
Why pay more for prescriptions? Stop overpaying and start saving with SingleCare. It's easy. Find your prescription on singlecare.com, show the coupon at the pharmacy, and start saving. Single Care works at pharmacies nationwide and is completely free to use, whether you have insurance or not. So the next time you fill a prescription, check Single Care to make sure you're getting the best price. Take control of your prescription costs. Go to singlecare.com or download the free app today.
In Texas, your spouse can claim alimony after just 10 years of marriage. Do you know your countdown? Because I guarantee you, she does. I'm Gary Barton with Barton & Associates. If you're considering divorce, then contact Barton & Associates today at texasdivorce.com. That's texasdivorce.com.
We all expect our home to protect everything we love. But here in Texas, we don't expect the ways water is breaking down our foundations and damaging our homes. Cracks in walls and uneven floors are just a few signs your foundation is shifting. But there's one way to get answers to all your concerns. A free home inspection from Foundation Support Specialists. Make sure your investment is protected. Get your free inspection at foundationsupportspecialists.com.
San Antonio's Sports Center.
Carolina Panthers rookie running back Jonathan Brooks, former Texas Longhorns, tore the ACL in his right knee for the second time in 13 months. Spurs guard Chris Paul now in second place in career assists. He surpassed Jason Kidd last night in the Spurs win over the Pelicans. And how about Juan Soto? He's a happy dude. 15 years, $765 million contract with the Mets, believed to be the most lucrative deal in team sports history.
Joe Reinagel.
That's the third time in 7 seasons the San Antonio Spurs are the NBA champions.
Jason Minnix.
They go back to big day as Super Bowl champions. Dallas 52, Buffalo 17.
It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minnix. About 2 hours, 20 minutes till kickoff. Cowboys, Bengals, Monday Night Football.
Simpsons, all of that. You got to throw them in, right? I mean, they're like the third team now.
Well, I it's weird. There used to be like, man, you get goosebumps when you hear that Monday Night Football music.
Yeah.
I mean, and now we get the Simpsons. And I don't know. The more we see here is we're live here at the Brew Pub, 281 and Redland Road, and those three massive 170-inch screens, all of them on the Cowboys pregame show on ESPN. And the amount of Simpsons promotion. And I know, it's kind of like when they do the Nickelodeon games. It's cool. It's different, trying to attract a different audience. But I think for regular sports fans, and with what we're seeing from ESPN, and granted, they're owned by Disney, right? We all work for Mickey. The idea that we're getting this much coverage, is it because the game doesn't have enough storylines on itself? We've got to bring in the Simpsons.
Yes. Although that was planned, right?
Well,
a long time ago.
Yeah, but I mean, this much production from the Countdown crew, instead of X's and O's and matchups, we're getting cartoons. Now, would they be doing that if this were, I don't know, Chargers, Chiefs, and everything that was on the line, what we saw last night on Sunday Night Football? I'm not really sure. I mean, the fact that Ryan Clark went and bought a cowboy hat, on his way to the stadium today for his outfit. I'm going to Texas. Let's do that. It just feels so damn gimmicky ahead of a Monday night game.
So you don't think Ryan Clark planned that before? And, it looks like a nice hat. Nice felt hat. Kind of a tan color, goes with his blue suit.
I'm sure he didn't buy it at the airport, and it was planned. But and I hope Swagoo has given him a lot of crap about it. But the idea, though, and again, I have an interest in this Simpsons deal, but I don't know that I can watch the whole game that way. I don't know if I can watch 10 minutes of the game that way.
I will watch some of it at some point because I'm curious, and I think a lot of people will do that. If you're trying to attract a different audience, I get the Nickelodeon, but the Simpsons, I don't know how many kids are watching the Simpsons these days. I mean, they've been on for so long. Maybe they are. I don't know, but I mean, they've been around a while.
Well, yeah, but again, it can attract a different audience. I don't know. I mean, hey, cool, Mom, look what we can do. We can put this into a football game. There is a curiosity factor. But I don't know how much I'll watch on ESPN Plus to see the Simpsons part of the broadcast. Now, I've got 2 TVs in my living room. I might put the smaller TV on ESPN Plus on mute and maybe unmute at times. I don't know, but I like it's like the Manning cast. You know, it's Cowboys Bengals. If there's a Manning cast tonight, I probably won't watch 1 second of it. Most of the time, I don't flip over to the Manning cast until the game's a blowout on Monday Night Football because I like traditional play-by-play.
I'm the same way. I don't watch the Manning cast much at all, but I know people that do, and that's the only way they'll watch it. So yeah, I guess it's whatever you do, and that's why ESPN is doing it and paying the Mannings the money that they're paying them. So it must be successful. I don't even know what to expect with the Simpsons thing. Do you?
No.
I mean, I'm not sure what they're going to do. Is it?
Well, and I got to be honest, I'm not the biggest of Simpsons fans to begin with.
Yeah.
I mean, I've watched The Simpsons, but I know people that will quote this and quote that and know every character's backstory, and that ain't me. So for those Simpsons diehards, and I know there's a lot more of those out there than people that don't give a damn, this is probably going to be fascinating.
Well, or is it just going to be, quirky?
Well, it's going to be quirky.
Well, I mean, quirky.
It's got to be.
I saw a story earlier today, and I'm not sure which player it was. I want to say it was T. Higgins, was holding up a picture of him as a cartoon. So I'm assuming the players, and that's why they couldn't flex out of this game, because they had got all this pre-production stuff done.
That's the only reason.
But all the players, I guess, are going to be in cartoon character at some point. I'm not sure how that's going to work. But
well, I mean, they're going to be interesting. Yeah, they're definitely going to do that. But I mean, yeah, you look at a couple of weeks ago when they were deciding, and boy, you could certainly see this game getting flexed for Rams-Bills on Monday night.
Absolutely.
But because of the Simpsons part of it, one, you don't flex on the Dallas Cowboys, although it has happened, and this year they deserve it. But because of the Simpsons, this is the one game that could not be flexed.
Well, yeah, because they've been working on this for a long time, getting all the cartoon faces. Hell, they having Mina Kimes in a cartoon face earlier.
They got everybody with a cartoon face.
I guess so.
I mean, it's a full-on cartoon.
Do they have Ryan Clark with cowboy hat or without?
I don't know.
He probably threw him for a loop there.
I mean, Orlovsky. How's he going to be? It's going to be, I don't know, interesting. It does add another element to a Cowboy game. I just look at this game, and I just don't know that the Cowboys offense has enough to keep up.
They don't.
They just don't.
They don't. They're going to have to do something else. Something's going to have to happen. Turnovers. Cincinnati turn the football over somehow, some way. Special teams. Establish a running game where you can keep Burrow on the sidelines. All of those things are going to have to happen. And I think the Cowboys are going to have to play a near perfect football game to get out with a W tonight.
Listen to the game here on 94.1 tonight. Come watch it with us live here at the Rue Pub, 281 and Redland Road. We will talk some college football with UTSA head football coach Jeff Traylor, as the Roadrunners know where they're going to go bowling. Jeff Traylor joins us next here on the Blitz. Now, you want to have a little bit more excitement and fun watching this game tonight, whether it's the regular broadcast or the Simpsons. Make sure you download the Underdog Fantasy app and be like me and over 5 million other players and the $2 billion that is won playing the Pick'em game at Underdog Fantasy. It's fun and it's easy. All you have to do is pick higher or lower on predicted stats. So I keep talking about Joe Burrow carving up that Cowboys defense. Right now, would you go higher or lower on Joe Burrow at 282.5 passing yards? I think he goes easy over 300 tonight. Cooper Rush, higher or lower, 242.5. passing yards. Jake Ferguson, will he get a touchdown tonight as he makes his return? What about Brandon Aubrey and field goals? All you got to do is build your pick-em entry. It's that easy to do. And you could win some cold, hard cash. And Underdog is running a special promo or bonus almost every single day, like Profit Boost, where you can pump up your winnings in just a tap when you apply the boost to eligible entries. Discounts where you get adjusted projections on certain player stats to give you a better shot at the win. And free picks, basically a sure thing. A player just has to get higher than 0.5 for that pick to win. All new users get a free pick. So go download the Underdog Fantasy app, sign up, use my promo code STAR and deposit and get up to $1,000 in bonus cash instantly. Important to remember, promo code STAR when you get signed up at Underdog Fantasy. Must be over 18, present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit ncpgambling.org. Again, promo code STAR when you get signed up at Underdog Fantasy.
TSAOG Orthopedics and Spine is excited to announce a partnership that is revolutionizing access to care for orthopedic patients. The HURT app provides free 24/7 access to orthopedic expertise. HURT is the app to have before you need it. Don't wait for an injury to happen. Download HURT now for free, fast virtual access to orthopedic specialists. The HURT app is available online in the App Store and Google Play. Learn more about the HURT app and the OrthoNow Injury Clinic at tsaog.com.
Not all pizza places are the same. Mellow Mushroom originated hand-tossed, stone-baked classic Southern pizza. Not in the mood for pizza? Order a calzone, hoagie, sandwich, burger, or a mellow salad and see how care goes into every item on the menu. Take your pick from 24 draft beers and or handcrafted cocktails. And many of the pizzas can be made gluten-free or vegan. Mellow Mushroom is at 1604 in Stone Oak Parkway. Hang with friends, watch the game, and mellow out at Mellow Mushroom.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-9047. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at tra.com or call 800-575-9047. That's 800-575-9047. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
'Twas the holiday season at Total Wine & More. So many friends that you need to shop for. Gifts on their shelves are so easy to find. Just what you love for your loved ones in mind. Your father likes Pinot Noir, Cabernet for your sis. Champagne for a co-worker, never a miss. Now that's a low price you'll shout out with glee when you shop Total Wine for them and for me.
With the lowest prices for over 30 years, you'll always find what you love and love what you find. Only at Total Wine & More.
Drink responsibly, B21.
Hello, my name is Jason Thompson. I'm an attorney here in San Antonio, and since 1994, I've been representing people and families seriously injured by negligent drivers. Recently, we've all seen advertisements from attorneys here in San Antonio saying their firm does not get paid an attorney fee unless there's a recovery. And maybe you've heard, we don't get paid unless you get paid, or words to that effect. Well, that is what I've been doing for more than 30 years. I honestly did not know that there were attorneys in San Antonio that would represent an injured client and charge a fee if there was no recovery. You see, I practice law with basic principles, one of which is you never need an excuse to do the right thing. If you or a family member has been injured in a vehicle collision, including a commercial or business vehicle, an 18-wheeler, call me. The phone call and consultation is free. If you hire me, I will not get a fee unless there is a recovery. And this has been true for me and my firm for more than 30 years. My number, 210-900-0400. That's 210-900-0400. Or check out my website, a lawyer.
Blitz here on 94.1, San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minnix, live at the Roo Pub, 281 and Redland Road. Cowboys, Bengals on Monday Night Football. They got that new bison burger on the menu. Got to try that. The bison burger here at the Roo Pub is freaking incredible. And if you've never had a bison burger, you've got to come try one. I had one in Wyoming over the summer. I'm excited they've added a bison burger to the menu here at the Roo Pub.
Can't tell the difference, can you?
It's a little bit leaner, but no, not really.
Yeah, not really.
No, it's fantastic.
Yeah.
And better for you.
All right.
Let's talk some UTSA football with head coach Jeff Traylor, who joins us now on the Buyers Barricades guest line. So I'll ask you at the start. Have you ever had a bison burger, Coach Traylor?
A bison burger, never have.
Well, yeah, put that on the list, man. It's fantastic.
94-1.
I don't know if
for you, Coach.
I don't know if they have one in Myrtle Beach. The excitement level, we know going to a bowl, getting that bowl bid, that's what you want. But you're going to play a bowl game that's not a neutral site game. That's kind of odd, isn't it?
It can only happen to the only team that hadn't won a road game yet, so it's perfect for us.
Well, I mean, Coach, the excitement level, I know you said you wanted to play in a bowl game to be around your seniors a little bit longer. Does it matter to you at all? I mean, are you disappointed by this? Does it matter?
No, I told y'all they should be talking. I wouldn't have given a rip. I'm just glad we're still playing. Come on now. The way we played in August and September and October, you wouldn't have thought we were going to play any bowl, but we played really well the last 6 weeks and really proud of how we've closed, and we're playing good ball right now.
Well, and the fact is, if the team that played at Army shows up against Coastal Carolina, that's going to be another bowl win for the UTSA Roadrunners, no matter what color the field is or how you pronounce their mascot's name.
Yeah, I learned a lot about that mascot today. That's pretty cool. Battle of the Birds this week.
Battle of the Birds.
You know more about it than I do, Coach. I'm afraid to even try to pronounce it at this point without looking at it.
I think it's a proud rooster, I think. I don't want to get too much into this, but I think that's what it's definitely is.
That makes sense for a South Carolina. Yep. Uh-huh.
Nice. So,
I'll let y'all run with that. I'll touch that with 10-foot pole.
So what's the plan now, Coach? What do you do? Is this like I don't know. It's obviously an extended practice, but what's your plan with your team for the next weeks?
Yeah, well, we prepared all day today. Coaches are game planning. Kids come in, lift and run tomorrow. We'll practice first one be Wednesday. Then they'll lift and run on Thursday, and we'll grade the video and have a walkthrough. They'll practice Friday, give them Saturday off. Then we'll practice Sunday, come back, grade a video on Monday with a walkthrough and a lift. And then pretty much it gets closer to a normal game week. You'll practice that Tuesday and Wednesday. We'll travel Thursday, and then you'll get 2 more practices in up there. And then you'll have a walkthrough day before the game. Then we'll tee it off and play them on their home field, even though we're on the home side. That's kind of strange.
Do you get the home locker room at least?
You know, I asked that same question. We send up a crew early just to scout it all out. I would imagine we'd be in the visitor locker room, but I haven't been told that yet.
You know, Jeff, as you think about the practices you just mentioned, especially, late this week, early next, is that more UTSA self-scout practice, or is it actual game planning for Coastal?
Oh, this first week, it'll be a lot of us just getting back out there doing our thing. But we'll have some, a little bit of base install done. I doubt we'll have third down done this week or red zone, but we'll get our base plan going, and then by Sunday we hope to have third down and red zone rolling.
How much health is a concern, Coach? When you look at this, you've got some time off. Will you get some guys back for this game?
Yeah, I hope so. We had Dan Dishman out, our tight end against Army. We had our returner, Chris Carpenter, out. We had Robert out, our running back, Henry. So we'll see how those guys progress. But I would say 2 of the 3 look pretty hopeful, and one of them we'll have to see.
Well, now injuries are one thing, as Jeff Traylor, head football coach at UTSA, joins us here on the Blitz. The portal is another, and we've already seen a couple of the Roadrunners announce their intention to hit the transfer portal. How does that work, especially at the quarterback position? Because I know Eddie Lee is one of those that are going into the portal. Does he immediately leave the team, or are you able to keep him around and until he finds a new spot, he doesn't go anywhere? Because right now I'm trying to figure out who would be the backup quarterback for this bowl game.
Yeah, it just depends on how their situation. If they come in and they handle it correctly, which just about all of our guys do, I'm going to let them play in the bowl game. Obviously, if they don't handle it what I would consider to be appropriately, they will not play in the bowl game.
Well, when you say handle it appropriately, can you give us an example? I mean, and I mean that sincerely. Is it just continue to be a good teammate? What would be the time you wouldn't let them play?
Well, let's just talk about the good, not the bad. You know, any player that comes in and they're respectful and they really want to go play somewhere and they've done everything correctly, and we know they'll be great teammates, they won't be a distraction at the bowl game, they're making the trip with us.
Okay.
And I would imagine Marburger falls into that category because, you know, here is a guy who had a chance to win a job, didn't win the job. A great player, great teammate by all accounts, but we know Owen's going to be the quarterback moving forward. So for him to be able to go play, it's got to be somewhere else.
It's a great example of when the transfer portal's good. We all make it out to be so bad, and there is a lot of bad going on right now, trust me. Because you have agents manipulating all these kids' minds, and they're not getting facts. They're just being told a bunch of bull. But then you've got kids like him, Jackson, other players, just using those two for an example, that they know Owen's young. They want to go play somewhere. So I'm going to help them. I'm going to call people and try to find a spot for those guys. Those guys have been nothing but great teammates here and supported everything since we've been here, helped us win championships, bowl games. And we're going to do all we can to help those kids, and they'll be in the bowl game.
Jeff, I know you have a lot of seniors that are leaving this team. How active are you and your coaching staff in the transfer portal?
We've got 5 official visits in this week, so we're hosting recruits as we speak. We've got a dinner tonight at Blues Restaurant, and we'll be in there recruiting our tail off and preparing for Coastal and doing radio shows with these famous people I'm on with right now.
You know, it's interesting because, I mean, I imagine portal window opens, you know, you are seeing who is in the window. So who is on the shopping list that the UTSA Roadrunners want to try to bring in. At the same time, I can imagine you're in a meeting trying to put together a game plan, a text message from one of your current players letting you know he's hitting. I mean, is it hard to get anything done, or is it you get into a practice meeting, put your phone down, and we'll worry about it when this meeting is over?
No, you never put your phone down. There's nothing more important than your current roster. And I've met with all the ones that need to be met with. No one sent me a text. Everything's been done correctly. These guys have been wonderful. And every single person in the portal has walked in my office. We had about an hour meeting. I hugged their neck, told them I loved them, and I'd help them. We don't have anybody yet that has not handled it correctly.
Now, Jeff, and I know, and we've talked about this before, but for a guy in your position, head coach of a football team, I mean, you've got to work your tail off every single day to keep these players happy, don't you? Not happy, that's not the right word, but to keep them here in San Antonio.
Well, the biggest deal is there's agents that are in their ears telling them just a bunch of nonsense. And I just have to educate them, like I do my own children. And but you got to understand, I've been with these guys so long, they all trust me. And I'm going to help them. I really want to try to help them do what's best for them. And, we've lost 3 since we've been here. And that I would say would have started for us. And we'll see how many we lose this time. We've got to get – I'm literally fixing to go meet with Bob Wills right now. And we're fixing to, budget. And I'll meet with Martin tomorrow, and we'll budget for our next team. And then in July, the school can take over. And Bob and Martin in April, and those guys that have been carrying this, they won't have to carry it all by themselves anymore. The school will be carrying the major load of it, and they'll just be kind of filling in from now on.
210inspired.org. I'll say it for you, Coach Traylor, because that's college football the way it is. Now, as you get ready for the bowl game, December 23rd, Myrtle Beach sounds great. You get some time up there. You get to have some fun at a bowl event. The good and bad of, you've had a handful of bowl games that are in Texas. That's obviously great for recruiting. Going out to Myrtle Beach from a recruiting standpoint, is that good for the brand, or would you, I don't want to ask if you'd rather be closer to home because, hell, you're in a bowl game. It's not HEB's parking lot. But from the overall brand, how great is it to be out in South Carolina?
Yeah, if you look how much we've grown nationally since we've been here, look at our roster. I mean, it used to be almost 100% Texas. And now we've got guys from all over the country hitting us up, wanting to come play here, just because our brand's on national TV. And it always helps. The better players you got, the more games you win. And we'd love to have a roster full of nothing but Texas football players. But the truth is, we got a lot of our Texas football players going other places right now. Our state's heavily, heavily, heavily recruiting. So obviously the nation allows us to get a certain O-line that's hard to find. There's just so few of them out there. It just helps you get into certain position groups you might not be able to get just from the state of Texas. And there's not enough players in Texas. It's just the whole country comes to our state. So it allows us to get more national.
All right, Coach, I got to ask you a question because you are the expert. You've been doing this a long time, and you haven't had to deal with this. And I'm not going to mention any names or any teams. But if your quarterback is struggling, say in the last two ball games, and has turned the ball over quite a bit, and you've got a stud quarterback on the bench that is the future of your program, what is the decision to make a change as you head into big games coming up?
You talking about NFL or college or high school?
College.
Oh, there's the locker room is the biggest concern there. There's a vibe those quarterbacks have. And even though you might think so or somebody else might think so, you don't know what that locker room thinks. And that's the most important thing. You can't lose the locker room. So I don't know the situation you're talking about, but if you've got a guy out there that's been through a lot of battles and maybe that locker room has his back, they might not want the new shiny star out there. I don't know which school you're talking about, so it's hard for me to really comment.
Well, you want me to tell you it's Texas, and they got Arch Manning and Quinn Ewers. That's exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I mean, I would have a hard time ever second guessing Steve Sarkisian. He's got a pretty dadgum good track record with quarterbacks.
Fair enough, Coach. Fair enough. You're the expert, though. That's why I ask.
Tell him that. Well, make sure they'll take it easy on him.
It's going to be interesting. Coach, hopefully I saw a deal from Lisa Campos, the importance of buying tickets for the bowl game through the UTSA Roadrunners and GoUTSA.com. And obviously, I hope a lot of people make that trip. Game is on the 23rd. You can go up there and still get back in time for Christmas. Out of curiosity, though, and I feel like I should know this answer, as opposed to just buying tickets, why is it so important to buy them through GoUTSA.com?
There must be some type of incentive that comes back to the university, I would imagine. Where if it comes to another outlet, you might be having to pay. That might go to them, I would imagine, for her to pay. It's not my expertise, but I think that's correct.
Fair enough. I mean, obviously, buying and having that money go through UTSA is obviously better for the UTSA program.
Well, Coach, good luck with the recruits tonight, and as you prepare for Coastal Carolina, we're rooting for you.
I appreciate it. So y'all always a blast. Thank y'all very much for your support. God bless and birds up.
God bless, birds up. Jeff Traylor, head football coach at UTSA, on the Buyers Barricades guest line, where they provide traffic control, rental, and sales for San Antonio and beyond, online at buyersbarricades.com. It never stops for a head coach.
Never stops. And I tell you what, these college coaches, I admire them because, man, the work that they're having to put in now is just off the chart. It's got to be difficult day in and day out for them.
Well, and again, you just had signing day a week ago.
Yep.
And now portal's in. You got 5. You're taking to dinner tonight?
Not a bad deal. And then he gets to go up to Coastal Carolina and eat rubber chicken at all those luncheons.
Well, I wonder what they serve there. Well, probably rubber chicken.
Rubber chicken.
Yeah, at those kind of things. Myrtle Beach in December sounds lovely.
It really does.
I mean,
I'd take the golf clubs.
I say this, and I hope from a fan perspective, going to Dallas is easy because you could drive up, go to the game, and come back. But this feels like, for the first time, outside of maybe their first one where they went to New Mexico, that it's a bowl trip at a destination. It sucks that it's Coastal Carolina's home field. It's not that neutral site. But at the same time, this feels like that first real bowl trip where we're going somewhere you don't normally go to. Myrtle Beach is a blast. Go out there and have some fun, as opposed to let's go up to Dallas.
Or New Mexico.
Or, well, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, Albuquerque.
I'd rather play in the HEB parking lot.
Well, that's it. And then again, you look at like Texas State and North Texas.
Yeah.
For North Texas, they drive across town.
Yeah.
Cool experience in the UIW Bird Bowl because you got G.J. Kinney and Eric Morris, the last 2 head coaches at UIW. They're going to square off in a bowl game.
That's going to be a fun bowl game, too.
That really will be. And I hope UIW gets a lot of exposure out of that storyline that those 2 guys work together and were leading the UIW program.
Absolutely, they should. Well, UIW is doing pretty well on its own, getting that publicity, as long as they keep winning. And they got a huge game coming up, and that's the one that
South Dakota.
Yeah, that's the one that they wanted. So.
Well, that's where the bracket laid, because I don't know many people that would honestly say, I can't wait to go to South Dakota in December.
Yeah, but they wanted them.
Yeah, absolutely. So. At least they play indoors. I hope they play indoors.
I would hope so, but you never know.
Is it South Dakota or North Dakota that has that dome? I think it's the Bison, the green one. The Jackrabbits might actually play outside.
Oh, dude,
we'll have to find out.
I don't really care to know anything about either Dakota.
Well, as cold as it was Saturday, that has them well prepared for doing that. Let's talk some Cowboys Bengals. Monday night football. I'm ready.
Let's do it.
I'm ready.
Yeah.
More coming up from the Brew Pub here on 281 and Redland Road on 94.1 at San Antonio Sports Star.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
Tuesday on the Morning Huddle, discussing the Cowboys-Bengals game that wrapped up Week 14, and now the games in the NBA really matter. The Emirates Cup starts up tonight. Party starts at 6 a.m. Don't miss it.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson. Morning 6 to 10 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
GiveMeTheVin.com salutes science. On this day in 1979, 10 years after the World Health Organization began global vaccinations against smallpox, the disease was officially declared eradicated. Give Me the Vin has been steadily eradicating the practice of taking your vehicle for a low-ball dealer trade-in allowance or wasting your time with a private sale. We just make it easy. Find out for yourself why we say GiveMeTheVin.com is America's best car buyer.
Sell us your car. GiveMeTheVin.com. So easy you can do it in your underwear.
Hard to believe that Christmas is only a couple of weeks away, right? But there's still plenty of time to find incredible gift deals because Macy's Friends and Family Sale is happening now. What does that mean? It means when you use your coupon or Macy's card, you can take an extra 30% off, just like Friends and Family can. That's 30% off the best holiday gifts, 30% off the best designer brands, 30% off what's trending right now. It's just this week. It's just what you were looking for, and it's only at Macy's. Savings off regular and already reduced prices. Exclusions apply.
Listen to this message I received.
First message.
This is Santa Claus. Hey, I'm calling to give you a heads up. Last Christmas, so many people asked me for a Connecticut water softener, but getting all those Connecticut units in and out of the sleigh, up and down the chimneys, well, it's not so good on my back. So I'm going to forward all those Connecticut wish lists directly to you. Here's Mrs. Claus.
Thanks again for installing our Connecticut. I just love how soft my man's beard is, and my skin feels silky smooth, even here at the North Pole.
Oh. So if it's okay with you, I'll handle the toys, you handle the water softeners.
For a limited time, receive a free reverse osmosis drinking station at your kitchen sink. 0% interest for 12 months and $400 when you trade in your old water softener.
By the way, the elves just love your jingle.
Call 656-PURE, Connecticut.
I'm not a fan of the gluten-free cookies. Bye-bye.
The last water softener you'll ever own. Call 656-PURE, Connecticut.
Meet Cheryl. Hey. She's on vacation and lost in the moment. Unfortunately, so is her Chase debit card.
It's gotta be somewhere.
Maybe she lost it at salsa night.
These skirts should have pockets.
Or maybe she lost it at Pilates.
3 and 2 and...
But she's not worried. With the Chase mobile app, she can lock her card till it turns up. Tools that help protect. One bank that puts you in control. Visit chase.com/checking. Chase, make more of what's yours.
Chase mobile app is available for select mobile devices. Message and data rates may apply. JP Morgan Chase Bank, N.A. member FDIC.
There's never any FOMO with the iHeartRadio app. You won't ever have to miss out on your favorite shows and contests with this radio station again. Radio 24/7, 365. We're here when you want us. Stay connected and listen anywhere when you download the free iHeartRadio app.
You know the Roo Pub has proven to be the best place to watch any big game with those 3 massive 170-inch screens and TVs all around. Football, basketball, all the fights. And when you show up at the Roo Pub, show up hungry. The food is fantastic. Open daily at 11. Great for lunch, great for dinner, great for late at night, and certainly the best place to watch the game. Just down from the big blind, the Roo Pub, right next to the Angry Elephant. 281 at Redland Road. We'll see you at the Roo.
In Texas, your spouse can claim alimony after just 10 years of marriage. Do you know your countdown? I guarantee she does. I'm Gary Barton, owner of Barton & Associates, attorneys at law. If you're considering divorce, it's absolutely crucial to understand your options right now. Don't let alimony catch you off guard. Protect what you've built and secure your hard-earned assets. Visit TexasDivorce.com. At Barton & Associates, we focus on navigating the complexities of divorce law to ensure you're not left vulnerable. Divorce is tough, but you have a choice. Take control of the process or allow your spouse to dictate the terms. If you're serious about safeguarding what you have built and your financial future, Barton & Associates is the team for you. We'll act swiftly and decisively, ensuring that you're not taken advantage of. Call Barton & Associates at 210-500-0000. That's 210-5-MILLION. Or visit TexasDivorce.com. That's TexasDivorce.com.
Principal Office, San Antonio.
Adam Schefter here with Vivid Seats. We've got some late-breaking news coming out of the stands. According to multiple sources, Vivid Seats fans are scoring rewards on every purchase and at a rapid pace. Obviously, these rewards are a game changer. Coupled with their MVP-worthy ticket selection, why get tickets anywhere else? Don't drop the ball this season. Shop with Vivid Seats and earn rewards on every ticket. And as the official ticketing partner of ESPN, Vivid Seats is offering you $20 off your first $200 ticket purchase with code Schefter. That's code Schefter.
What's that? 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, South Texas home of the NFL. Monday night, Thursday night, and Sunday night football. Presented locally by Flight by Yingling, the next generation of light beer. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minnix, live at the Roo Pub, 281 and Redland Road. About an hour, this place is going to get packed.
Absolutely.
It's Cowboys, Bengals tonight. On Twitter, at Joe Reinagel 2-0. Tweet at me, at Jason Minnix. On the stations, at SA Sports Star. Same for Instagram. And you've got a video on the at SA Sports Star Instagram page right now that well, it's about the Texas quarterback situation.
It is.
Now, not that you're comparing Quinn Ewers to Dak Prescott, but you could have taken the same video about Dak and applied it to Quinn, right? And it's that same kind of what I find interesting, like you just heard Jeff Traylor when you asked him, that locker room probably, that was a great answer because none of us probably give that or understand that dynamic of it. But what I find interesting is a lot of the comments on that Instagram post at SA Sports Star, I wouldn't say are defending Quinn, but putting more of the blame on Sark and the play calling.
Yeah, I've had a lot of those comments that Sark with the poor play calling. Obviously, they're blaming the kicker too, which, okay, I get that. He's easy. That's an easy target. And then, I've had others just say, well, the same with Dak. The interceptions aren't his fault. Oh, they hit him right in the hands, and it bounced off.
Well, that one, sure.
Well, sure. But again, he fumbled the football too, right? I mean, so a lot of turnovers. He's got to take care of the football and be a game manager. With that defense, they don't have to do anything but manage the game and not turn the football over, and they're going to win 99% of the time.
The problem is that 1% is against Georgia, and 2, they've got to score touchdowns.
Yes.
And that is something that offense hasn't really been doing enough the last several weeks. It wasn't just a Georgia problem and not just a Texas A&M problem. But when I look at an NFL quarterback in Quinn Ewers, the offensive line and some of their weapons, and Sark, I expect a lot more out of that offense, and we're not getting it. You know, I look at like tonight's Cowboys-Bengals game. Cowboys like to kick field goals. They you know, with Cooper Rush, they're not scoring a lot of touchdowns. And so in tonight's game, you know, touchdowns I expect from the Bengals, field goals from the Cowboys, they don't have a chance. And against Georgia, you know, 2 field goals is all you got after dominating the first half of the SEC championship game. They had 2 freaking field goals. And I'm watching that game, but they're going to lose this game because they didn't take advantage of all those opportunities in the first half. And Georgia's just too good of a program not to get it together. Even then, 1 touchdown, you know, the 2 missed field goals were there, but the turnovers and when they happen, Quinn Ewers. And unfortunately, from a Cowboy fan perspective, I just felt like I was watching the same team just with a different logo on the helmet.
Yeah, well, those 2 teams are a lot alike, and their fan base is a lot alike too. Very, very arrogant, and that's fine. I have no problem with that. And the loyalty to Quinn Ewers is amazing to me, and that's what I've heard a lot of when I do, you know, when all of us, because we all do these Instagram posts, it's interesting to see the comments, and you kind of get a feel for what folks are thinking, whether they're fans or not. And so there's been a lot of loyalty to Quinn Ewers, and I think that comes with just being a fan of that team. You like him, he's had some success, and you want to ride with him. I just you know, the difference for Dak Prescott, Minnix, is they didn't have a stud backup quarterback to go to. Texas does. And I just think this is the perfect time to do that. What is it, the 21st? So you've got almost 2 weeks to get ready for this football game. And again, but I appreciate Jeff Traylor's comments about the locker room. Is the locker room still dug in on Quinn Ewers? Is he still the guy? And that's maybe why Sark is making the decision he's making with Quinn.
Well, and I look at what's the word I'm looking for? I'm not as loyal or out on Quinn Ewers. I wouldn't make the change that you're suggesting because I do believe that Quinn is that level of quarterback. I mean, some of the throws that he makes, and like a lot of quarterbacks, some decisions you always wish you have back. But I get into the playoffs, and I'm Sark. I've got a shorter leash for Quinn Ewers and probably more of a package for Arch Manning to come in and get a series here or there for the just-in-case moment, because that's the one thing that when we've seen Arch as of late, you know, Quinn missed those games with injury. Arch came in. Arch played well, but it's not like he lit it up. His best asset right now is still running the football. I mean, you know, that poor kid from UTSA, still his ankles haven't recovered. So when you look at it from that perspective, that has to factor in too. Does Sark believe Arch is ready to go in and do more than just run some plays? You know, he came in against Georgia and he didn't do anything except fumble the ball and poop the bed. So, you know, you wonder if it's that time. And Quinn has been so good for Texas. But in the big games, whether it's on Quinn or not as the quarterback, just like Dak Prescott, when you're the quarterback and the ball leaves your hand and gets intercepted, whether the receiver ran a wrong route or it bounced off of him, it's still a turnover on your record. They don't have a different category for tipped interceptions or deflected interceptions, or that one really wasn't your fault. At the end of the day, did you turn the ball over? And that is something that Quinn has historically done going back to high school in the biggest games. You look at the state championship game, junior year, Cade Klubnik against Quinn Ewers, South Lake Carroll against Austin Westlake, in one of the biggest state championship games of recent memory when you think about all the guys that were in that game that you knew were going to play big-time college football and probably go to the NFL. Cade was 18 of 20 for 220 yards and had 97 on the ground, 1 touchdown. Quinn Ewers in that game threw for 351 yards, 3 touchdowns on 23 of 39 passing, but he also threw 2 interceptions and fumbled the ball. Austin Westlake won the game.
Yeah. And look, and I'll go back, and you're right. When Manning came into that first Georgia game, he didn't look good. But how fair is that to insert a guy into a lineup? He's got no rhythm. I mean, he wasn't prepared to start, wasn't probably, I say prepared to go in the game. You always got to be prepared. But, I mean, I think it's different when you insert a guy into the middle of a game versus starting the guy. When you've got that starter's mentality, you've prepared with the first team. And so I think it's a little unfair to criticize Manning for having a couple of bad series when you stick him in the middle of the game, and he probably knows he's coming out of the game. So I don't know. I think that then obviously he's not going to make a change. Maybe it's the locker room, maybe it's something else. But I just think it's I just don't see Texas winning a national championship with their offense the way that it is constructed right now. It is going to have to play better. And to Quinn's defense a little bit, he was sacked 6 times in that game. Maybe that's part of the problem, Jason.
Offensive line.
Well, offensive line, and maybe Quinn's just not 100% and can't move the way that Arch Manning can. And if there's problems with that offensive line, you stick a mobile quarterback back there, let him play. Maybe you have more success.
We've got some breaking news.
Uh-oh.
The Heisman finalists have officially been announced. 4 will be headed to New York City. Dylan Gabriel, the quarterback at Oregon. Travis Hunter from Colorado. Ashton Genty from Boise State. And Cam Ward, former UIW Cardinal. Now, no Bo Scadaboo from Arizona State.
We can't take everybody.
Well, I mean, they could take 4 or 5. I'm a little surprised that the Scadaboo didn't get the invite, quite frankly, when you look at his numbers. And, you know, it kind of feels like Cam Ward and Dylan Gabriel are going for a free meal because, to me, the Heisman Trophy is going to come down to Travis Hunter and Ashton Genty. And I got to believe this is the year that it will go to a non-quarterback. And I'm not talking about a running back from Boise State, although that would be a great story. But the reality is Travis Hunter is probably going to go up to New York and win himself a Heisman Trophy.
If he doesn't, I think it's an injustice. The guy deserves it with what he can do on both sides of the football. He's just a talented guy. And if he doesn't win the Heisman Trophy, I think, again, it's just an injustice. He should win it. No disrespect to any of those other players, especially Cam Ward. Very happy for Cam Ward. I really am. But Travis Hunter deserves this award. He deserves the Heisman Trophy.
When you look at what Ashton has done, granted at Boise State, although you look at where they are in the college football playoff, does playing at Boise State hurt him in the eyes of the voters? Although his numbers are just freaking incredible, but it's hard to argue. I like, if I had a vote, it would be for Travis Hunter.
Me too. Obviously, I pretty much made that clear, I think, just now. But yeah, I just think what this guy can do on both sides of the football. He's just one of those guys that we talk about unicorns and aliens, and I think Travis Hunter fits in those categories.
And what's even cooler about that is Travis Hunter is going to be in New York this Saturday. You know, we're going to be in D.C. starting Thursday, broadcasting Thursday and Friday from the Army-Navy Radio Row. Saturday we'll go to the game, and then, you know, we always end up somewhere and we watch the Heisman ceremony. We'll see Travis Hunter win it, and then the dude's coming to San Antonio for the Valero Alamo Bowl.
Nice. And according to Deion Sanders, they're all coming.
Yeah, they're gonna. I mean, this is what Deion Sanders said yesterday after the announcement that they were coming. That, you know, opting out, That's not going to happen at Colorado.
Yeah, but plethora of seniors that are pro-bound. And guess what? Every last one of them are going to play. We don't tap out. We don't sit out. It's a blessing to play this wonderful game. Our kids are going to play. We got a kid that's probably going to pick up, not probably, what I'm talking about, matter of factly going to pick up the Heisman Trophy this week, and he's going to play. We got another quarterback who picked up an award last weekend, and he's going to play. We have receivers that I know are going pro, and guess what? They're going to play. So we cannot wait to put on our best suit and our best uniform because we're the home team, and we're going to play, and we're going to come there to have a good time.
I love that, and I love Deion Sanders, and congratulations to the Valero Alamo Bowl for getting that. That's going to be big-time attention for that bowl game, having Colorado come here. No disrespect to BYU, but having Deion Sanders and those two players, Shedeur Sanders and Travis Hunter, to come here, I mean, it's huge for that bowl game.
Well, and the fact that they're playing. That was the biggest concern we had about a week or two ago when we saw them on the projections. Man, that'd be nice, but will they play? I mean, I remember even asking on air, and I don't know what the answer is, can these bowl games pay players in this NIL world to make sure they play in the bowl game? You know, because I've heard that there's going to be expected to be a lot of opt-outs in that Alabama-Michigan matchup. But I wonder if the Bulls can step in and convince these guys, like, you need to play in this one. Here's a couple of dollars, because, you know, the traditional bowl gifts, now that these guys are making the money they're making, you wonder how valuable those granted, those gift bags are always pretty cool.
Absolutely.
But are they still that way?
We got a big football game on Monday night. We just got some news from Todd Archer. Trayvon Diggs is active for tonight's game. So that's huge. Going to be a nice battle there between he and Jamar Chase, no doubt.
So active for Diggs. Tyler Guyton also active for tonight's game. So that will help on the offensive line.
Hello, Trey Hendrickson.
When he's not committing penalties. You just look at this matchup tonight. As we get closer and closer to it, and the Cowboys official pregame show will get going in about 10 minutes or so from right now as we're watching highlights, Joe Burrow warming up. I just look at that offense, Jamar Chase, Joe Burrow. I'm glad Diggs is active, and he's got to be not only active but great tonight. Coming off of an injury, if he's slowed down a little bit, that's going to be a problem.
No doubt about it. And look, I look for Cincinnati to put up some points. I'm just going to be anxious to see what Dallas can do in response and how they try to slow the game down and keep Burrow on the sidelines.
Most of the predictions on the NFL show on ESPN earlier today, all but one, Laura Rutledge picking the Bengals. But what I found interesting is across the board, relatively close scores, all in the 20s. I don't see that at all. I think the Bengals are going to be in the 30s, and the Cowboys will be lucky to be in the 20s. I'm not expecting a close game tonight. I hope I'm wrong, but I'm not expecting a close game.
Well, I picked 38-20 on our YouTube page. There were a couple of folks picking scores. So 38-20 Cincinnati wins this thing going away.
38-20.
Yeah.
Cincinnati. That's not a close game, sir.
Not at all.
So you'll be watching The Simpsons.
Perhaps, and betting the over.
Yeah. I'm not too far off. I'm thinking, 34-23. A lot of Brandon Aubrey field goals tonight.
Wow. Okay. It's going to be a fun game either way.
Yeah, Cowboys have to go score. Cowboys-Bengals coming up next here on 94.1 at San Antonio Sports Star, brought to you by AA Best Bail Bonds and Ewald Kubota. For you Texans fans, tomorrow, Jalen Petrie will join us on the Blitz tomorrow. We're talking about it starting at 2. The morning huddle gets going tomorrow morning at 6 a.m.
Writing 410 with the Blitz.